Give me a
We're
second. I just switched
live. We're
devices. Can you hear me
live.
now?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're live.
yes, Kevin, we're alive.
Well, thanks for going live, Carl, before I was ready. Good night. I put my makeup on and shit, man.
No, you was just yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping.
Trying to tell you that we're going live. Tiffany and I were trying to tell you we're going live. It was 7:01, 7:02. Like we gotta go live. Um, so hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on another Sunday.
Happy New Year.
So happy New Year to everyone. Um, so Tiffany, how was your New Year? Did you do anything? Did you go
Well,
anywhere?
no, I actually stayed in and with my mom. You know, it'd be dangerous out in them streets. You don't want to be in them streets during the New Year's. And it was pouring down raining here in New York, but people did go out. So we just stayed in and listened to church. My mother loves CCC, so we brought it in with the church and said a prayer and that was it. And went to sleep.
Kevin, I know on New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah. I was out of state performing, and I don't know what happened. Oh, yeah, I was out of state performing, and had a great time. Had a real great time. Great hotel, great audience, and it was a lot of fun. So had a good time. Yeah.
That's
Right.
good. How
Uh,
about you, Carl? What you did?
what did I do? Nothing. Stayed home. No, you thought New Year's Eve? No, I went to Baltimore.
Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna hear about Baltimore when this show ends, Carl. Oh, by the way, Carl, at my show, I performed in Vermont. And when I got to Burlington, I was talking to Patricia as I was driving. It was a 4-hour drive. So I was like, I'm in Vermont, which is, I was like, man, I don't see any black people, right? As I'm driving through Vermont. But when I got to Burlington, there were black people everywhere. Like in that part of Vermont, Burlington is like it's a big university there also. So it's a lot of black people there. I went to the mall, Macy's and all that stuff. Black people everywhere, right? At my show, there was some Caribbean people. I don't know what part of the Caribbean they're from, but they weren't the most friendliest human beings on the planet, Carl. I don't know why everybody bring this to your attention because you're from the Caribbean. Like we got to bring it to your attention that Caribbean people dog me out, right?
What island were they? Jamaican?
He said he didn't know.
I didn't ask them. I believe they were Jamaican. Maybe I should have asked them, but they weren't very friendly. Like after the show, everybody's coming up to me and accolades and we're taking pictures and all sorts of stuff. And they were just it was a group of them. It was about 12 of them. That's maybe because I picked on them. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But yeah, they weren't very, after the show, they showed me no love, man. I was like, I was like, damn.
You can't win everybody hard.
Was it mostly men and women or just?
It was men and women. They were all couples, man. So I guess, yeah, they're all couples, coupled up. They're on the dance floor. We were on the dance floor together because I went and danced, on the dance floor after the show, and they were out there dancing, and the DJ was playing some Caribbean tunes. It was nice, man. It was good. They were getting down too, but they like they say shit to me. I was pissed about it too.
They wasn't feeling.
Yeah,
I can't all Caribbean people, but I'll tell you this much: Caribbean people don't really, and I don't want to speak for all of them. We don't really like celebrities. We don't really, go crazy over celebrities, or go crazy over, like how after a show, when and that's the same thing that Happy News happened to me.
right. I got you. Yeah, I can dig it.
I had a guy book me specifically for a show because the hotel that the show was at had a lot of Caribbean people working there. He thought it would be great if I would come and do a show, but after the show they were like very standoffish and they don't want to let you know that it's weird. You know what I mean? Like, and they have people like that all over the world. They don't want to show you any love because they don't want you to feel special.
They laughed at the show because they weren't sitting too far from the stage, so
Yeah.
I saw them laughing when I was on stage.
Yeah.
When I got off, it was straight up cold shoulder. Like not even eye contact or anything like that. And I found that strange. That's all, because no eye contact, no, hey, good show, brother, nothing like that. Like
Like Carl
nothing.
said, a lot of them are not emotionally attached like
Right.
that.
That
You
they're
know, and it's not you, it's them. You
right.
understand? Because I know people that they say their parents never hugged them,
Right.
gave them love or anything like that. They wasn't affectionate type people. They feel like I put food on your table, I pay the bills, that's enough love for you. So they probably feel we paid for a ticket, we sat in the front, calm down, okay? And that was it. So it's okay. You did your job, and
Tiffany,
you got paid.
you explained it correctly. It's nothing personal, Kev, but
Nothing personal.
All right, thank you, man. I feel better. All right, no, just kidding.
Pamela
Okay.
Jones saying Happy New Year to everybody. What's up, Pam? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Tiffany, you want to do the honors and explain the
Hello, everybody. This is fair use only, educational purposes only. We do not own the rights to the content or the music, okay? Entertainment purposes only. Please make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment and let us know how you feel and what you think.
all right.
Peace.
All right. So on today's show, we're gonna talk about several topics. The first topic we're gonna talk about is the attack in New Orleans by the guy from Texas who was flying an ISIS flag on his truck and killed a whole bunch of people. I have one take on it. Tiffany take on it. Kevin has his take. We're gonna go through each take as to why stuff like this happens. We're also going to talk about Tiffany sent this to me. I think Kevin sent it also, but there was a postal worker in New York City. Was he in a bodega and he got stabbed and killed by
Yeah.
a transgender person? Stabbed. They got into an argument, and he was stabbed, and killed by a person of the transgender community. Also, there's an HBCU marching band from Mississippi. Is that correct? That they're
Mhm.
have been invited to the Trump inauguration on January 20th, Martin Luther King Day, and they have said yes, and they are trying to raise money to make the trip to Washington, D.C. And from what I've seen in the last couple of videos I saw, they have gotten the money to make that trip. A lot of backlash from Black people, but there was also a lot of love from Black people who were happy that they were invited and happy that they were going. I also saw a video of Ice-T being pulled over by the police. It was just funny, so I just show Ice-T. One of his 7 cars, I guess it was not registered for 3 years, so he decided to go register his Porsche and got pulled over by the cops while he was on his way to the registry, and he wasn't happy about that.
They should have harassed him.
It should
You wait 3 years to register your Porsche. Oh,
got 7.
police.
So he said he was like, well, it was just sitting there, so he wasn't driving it, so it was any need to register it.
Rich
So
people problems.
It's not rich people problems.
no,
I got in my car today. I'm not rich, and I got in my Nissan Murano that's not registered, and it's cold here in New York. So I got in to start it up because I haven't started up in over a month because I don't drive it. I drive my other 2 cars, but this one just sitting there, right? So I said, let me start it up, the battery, make sure just get a battery some love, let it run for a minute. So I started up, let it run for 10 minutes. I said, you know what? I'm going to back it out the driveway and take it around the block just to give it some, because I haven't driven a car forever. And then I go, wait a minute. I get pulled over going around the block in an unregistered car. What I'm going to do, tell the cop, oh, I'm just working on my battery. I'm just warming up my battery going around the block because you can get pulled over just going around the block from your house that quick. So I thought about it, and I didn't move my car out the driveway. But I know what you're saying about Ice-T. When you want to get your car registered, he could have took another car. He has more than one car, right? So he could have took another car to get it registered. But right, Tip. But you also got he might need some work on the car, so he might not driven the car for a while. So like I said,
See,
he's starting the car up just to get it some to get a battery some. You got to drive a car like a body. If you don't move your body, if you just sit on that sofa sit on your
Oh,
couch for 3 days straight, no moving. You go to get up, you go grab every muscle in your body. But it's the same thing with a
you
car.
You need to stop because you got some car fetish. That's why you over here rooting for him. He could have used his money and got a tow truck or something to come and pick that car up to take it where it needs to go to get registered, checked, or anything. He know he's a black man. Oh, I forgot. He probably thought he was too light skinned to be able to get caught and being pulled his ass over. Okay, I can't take it. He has enough money to do that. I understand. And you look, you didn't do it. You didn't ride your car around because you thought about it. Okay, you not even on his bracket, but you thought about it. You was like, you know what? I ain't getting my ass caught. You understand? So come on, he could have thought about it.
I'm sure he did, but he's Ice-T, so he figured he can drive without getting pulled over by a cop.
Man,
What happened was they pulled him over, not knowing who it was, and once they found out who it was, because he probably handled the situation not the way they wanted to, like kiss some butt, then that probably escalated the problem there. That's my opinion. I think, that's not like a major offense driving the car just to get, to get it inspected or whatever. That's not like some big deal. He
well,
knew
Carl will show us the video.
they knew why they pulled
Carl
him
will
over
show us the
because they
video.
wanted to fuck with him because he was black, light skinned black. Once I tell you all the
Light
time,
skin
Tiffany,
black.
black is black. Black is black. When you black, you go get
Mm-hmm.
harassed. And IC knows better than anybody. He's a gangster, a real gangster from LA. So, I mean, he grew up in some gangster shit. South Central back in the 80s when it was real gangster shit. So he knows all too well about cops.
Right. So, well, is a video where there's an Asian man saying that Asians should thank Black Americans for them being able to come to America and be as prosperous as they are. They need to thank because they're here because of the blood that was spilled by Black Americans. But of course, we know that doesn't happen. They come here and they act like
They shit on us. Just be honest.
yes, they do.
It's 2025. I ain't taking no prisoners no more. I gotta get rid of this instant,
Okay,
man. I got
thank
this
you.
instant
Not
here.
at all.
It is instant. I feel like I'm in a David Copperfield show. So give me a second, get rid of this. I'm listening.
All right, so we're gonna kick it off with the New Orleans. It's gonna be a tribute to all the people who lost their lives on.
Rest in peace.
It's sad that these people had to die, and like I said, we each have our take as to why stuff like this happens. But here we go with the first video that we are going to watch.
Why does Iran hate America? Because in 1953, America overthrew Iran's government for oil.
That's been proven. Through Iran's government for oil, so of course some people in the Middle East are very upset.
If there is a country that has committed unspeakable atrocities in the world, it is the United States of America. They don't care. They don't care for human beings. 57 years ago, when Japan was retreating on all fronts, they decided to drop the atom bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Killed a lot of innocent people who are still suffering from the effects of those bombs. Those bombs were not aimed against the Japanese. They were aimed against the Soviet Union to say, look, this is the power that we have. If you dare oppose what we do, this is what is going to happen to you. Because they are so arrogant, they decided to kill innocent people in Japan who are still suffering from that. Who are they now to pretend that they are the policemen of the world?
What?
What? Nelson.
What made you bring him in? He's been gone. That's an ancestor now.
Yeah, but did you hear what he said?
But we're talking. Yeah, I heard what he said. All right.
Talking about America dropping bombs on other countries.
Yes,
stuff
that
happened.
was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. What we're talking, I thought we was talking
Rele-
about what this young man did.
But it's relevant.
I think what he's saying, Tiff, is that there are a lot of people that are angry at America for a lot of stuff that America has done in the past to these countries. Haiti is the way it is because America went there and took all their resources, and now Haiti is what it is. And we know what Haiti is, but it wouldn't be that way if not for the American government going into Haiti and doing what it did, right, back in the day. So the bottom line is all these people, Bin Laden or ISIS or whatever, I'm not making excuses for them because they want to kill my ass like they want to kill everybody else's ass here, but they're all pissed off at America because of America's hands are dirty, you know.
America's
There's a lot
hands
of
been
blood, a
dirty
lot of
for
blood
years.
on
You know
America's
that.
hands.
And Europe. Don't forget about Europe.
There's a lot of Europe gets theirs too. There's a lot of terrorist attacks in Europe, you know, but America is the grandfather of most of this stuff, right? So that's why, unfortunately, we're paying the price for stuff our government does or has done in the past to these countries. So now they want to blow up planes and blow up stuff because these people are raised. Their people are born. They come out the womb hating us. They're groomed from the time they're 2 years old all the way up to they're teenagers that we are the devil and we are bad and we need to be taken out. That's why you got these people running up into crowds. I mean, they give their lives, to kill us. They blow themselves up. I mean, kind of anger is that? I'm pissed off a lot of people, but never want to blow myself up at nobody, right? We're not raised that way. But these people have a hatred for us that we can't comprehend. And a lot of it is some dirt that our country has done. So I think what Nelson Mandela was pointing that out, even Muhammad Ali in one of his speeches said, actually it wasn't Muhammad Ali, it was Farrakhan, I believe, who said, America dropped bombs on all these countries. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
America got a lot of dirt on their hands, Tiff and Carl, and
I never said that they didn't have dirt on their hands because look how we got here. Okay.
well, that's why he
But
played the
also
clip.
excuse me?
That's why he played the clip of what you want to know why he played the clip of of what you call I'm talking about some of America's dirty deeds. That's all he was pointing that out, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is why Mr. Jabbar, he went out there and killed
Innocent people,
innocent people because of
because we are innocent, but we're still Americans, so they don't really. So
that's
what
another thing.
the point that he's trying to make basically is that when America drops a bomb on Hiroshima, for example, when they drop a bomb on Japan, that bomb kills kids, it kills women, it kills school teachers, it kills people that had nothing to do with nothing. I think that's what they're saying. Like
And we
America
also
dropped a
see the
bomb.
war
When you
that's
drop a
going
bomb
on.
on a foreign country, you're killing a bunch of innocent people that had nothing to do with anything that all the kids that get killed in these wars, bombs. So when America drops a bomb, they're angry at the government, but they're not just killing the government, they're killing millions of kids and thousands of kids and innocent people, right? So that's what I think they're saying is that you can't just kill the government. You got to kill all Americans because you can't get to George Bush, you can't get to Ronald Reagan, you can't get to JFK, you can't get to Nixon and all these people that done all this stuff that we don't even know about. Things we don't even know about that's probably being done. You can't get to those people, but you can get to the people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. You can get to the people at the shopping mall. You can get to the people on an airplane. We're innocent, but we're still Americans. We're born here. We got to pay the price for what our government's done. And our government's done a lot, unfortunately.
When Obama was president, he had a drone strike that hit a wedding. They thought it was a terrorist organization, but it was actually an actual wedding. So he took out a whole family of, I mean, family of the bride, the groom, everybody. And so those people are not happy about that. They may not react or get back at America that day or that week or that month, but they sit and that story goes on for generations where they tell all their family about how America killed their family. And so those people grow up, like Kevin said, hating America, and they're going to get back at America regardless. And that's why groups like ISIS and Al Qaeda and all of them, it sucks that we have to pay the price, but that's why those people are angry at America. So that's why we get these people, trying to kill us. So here's another guy.
People often ask, why are so many terrorists Muslim? And my question to these people is, why are so many terrorists men? And if they say, oh, it's not the gender's fault, then my answer is exactly the same. It's not the religion's fault. But on a deeper level, there's a problem with the word terrorist itself. You see, Western governments, they terrorize people all the time, and yet they are rarely ever labeled as terrorists. And yet, if there are groups around the world that have been systemically oppressed for decades, if not centuries, and they resort to violent means in order to gain their rights and freedom, then they are labeled as terrorists. And then if you ask people why are they labeled terrorists, even though the violent things they might be doing is minuscule compared to what the Western governments have been doing, then people will often say, oh, it's because the people that are doing this, they are bad. And if you ask them, okay, why are they bad? They'll be like, oh, it's because they're terrorists. So it's a completely flawed, circular reasoning. They're bad because they're terrorists, and they're terrorists because they are bad. So in reality, this term terrorist, it's a buzzword that is used to push colonial narratives.
He had a point. You never hear America referred to as terrorists, and America is a terrorist because they terrorize people. But
the subject has been identified as 42-year-old Samsud Dim Jabbar, a U.S.-born citizen from Texas. He was driving a Ford pickup truck, which appears to be rented, and we are working to confirm how the subject came in possession of this vehicle. An ISIS flag was located on the trailer hitch of the vehicle, and the FBI is working to determine the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations. Weapons and potential improvised explosive devices, IEDs, were located in the subject's vehicle. Other potential IEDs were also located in the French Quarter. As of now, 2 IEDs have been found and rendered safe. We are working with our partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. We're aggressively running down all of the leads to identify the possible subject's associates. We're working to ensure that there is no further threat. We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We are actively running down every lead, including those of his known associates. We're asking anyone who has information, video, or pictures to provide it to the FBI. We have set up a digital tip line as well as our 1-800 number, 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Top 10 countries that have been bombed the most by the USA. Number 10 is Indonesia. Number 9, Guatemala. Well, I did not know we had all these problems with these countries that we were bombing them, but apparently. Number 8 is Korea. Number 7, El Salvador. Number 6 is Cuba. We had quite a time with them in the 60s. Number 5, the Congo. Number 4 is China. Now, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting Japan, but Japan is like 12 or 14, which is crazy because what we did in Japan, we did quite a bombing. Number 3 is Laos, and number 2 is Bosnia. If you like this list and want more about other nonsense, follow me. Leave me a comment with the country you thought we would have bombed the most. I'm surprised Iraq is not on here. There's a couple missing. Also follow my Instagram and fiance Samantha. Number 1 is Afghanistan.
It shows that, but I mean, if you go around the world bombing all these countries, I mean, you should expect something to happen. You know what I mean? You're not going to walk away scot-free each time. So here's a tribute to the victims of the New Orleans, and then we're going to kick the show off.
Learning more names of those killed in the New Orleans terror attack. Tonight, we honor them, many of them so young, just taking a break to ring in the new year. An aspiring nurse, a college student, a single mom, among the 14 people celebrating the new year when their lives were stolen by what authorities say was an ISIS-inspired terrorist. 27-year-old Tiger Besh grew up in Louisiana and played football at Princeton. Tonight, I spoke to his mom and brother. Tell me what it's been like to be Tiger's mom for all these years.
He's been a shining star, a bright boy, a clever boy.
He was my role model, my whole family's role model, our inspiration, and now everything we'll do will be for him and through him.
Nikira Dado was just 18 and dreamed of becoming a nurse. Her mom posting, "When your parents say don't go anywhere, please listen to them. I lost my baby. Just pray for me and my family." 21-year-old Hubert Gothrow's mom saying he would give anyone everything. Hubert's last text to his family came just after midnight. He wrote, "I love you." Nicole Perez was a single mom. She didn't have a car, so she would walk to work to provide for her 5-year-old son. She told friends she was excited about New Year's Eve in the French Quarter. Drew Dauphin recently graduated from Auburn University, his family saying he could light up a room and that they're suffering more than anyone can imagine. 18-year-old Kareem Badawi just finished his first semester at the University of Alabama. Kareem was 6'5", but his dad saying he still always called his youngest the baby. Reggie Hunter adored his 11 and 1-year-old sons, his cousin telling us Reggie was a little guy with a big heart who didn't deserve this. And Matthew Tenedorio had just had dinner with his parents before he went out to ring in the new year.
25 years old, just starting life, had the job of his dreams. Our hearts go to all the other families that lost their loved ones too. We just grieving right now.
Promising lives cut short tonight.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. We gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy, we're gonna challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna kick today's show off talking about the New Orleans terrorist attack, where the guy from Texas, I can't pronounce his name, I'm not even gonna try. He took his Ford pickup truck, he drove it, and he killed as many people as he can. Then he got out of his truck and started shooting, and of course police engaged him, and he got to kill some people, but they eventually killed him. So we decided to do a show on this, and I have my take on why do terrorists not like Americans? What is going on there? It's terrible that we that live in America have to pay a price of our lives with something we know nothing about. But in my opinion, there's something going on across other countries that America is doing that is pissing these people off. And my take on it is America goes to other countries, right? I showed a top 10 list of countries bombed by the USA, right? And that we all sit and we watch news and we see America is bombing this country, they're bombing that country. And to me, that creates angry people. That creates people who lost family, who lost loved ones. America is not the only country that lost loved ones. If this is what we're seeing on the news, where these people died and the families are grieving, imagine what the people in Afghanistan and Iraq, right? When they had the big war in Iraq, 250,000 Iraqis were killed. This is 250,000 innocent Iraqis, people who had nothing to do with the war, people who were just in the wrong neighborhood, and America dropped bombs, killed 250,000 innocent Iraqis. How do you think those people feel over there? So, of course, when ISIS comes to them and go, hey, you want to get back at America or whatever, they're going to take the opportunity to kill some Americans because America has killed them. And I know that's not what people want to hear, but there's got to be a reason those people are so angry.
The weird thing about what you're saying, though, Carl, and you're making, I mean, everything you're saying is accurate, but this guy Jabbar, is an American.
Right.
And so he's an American that's mad at America. Like, he's still an American at the end of the day. He's born here, raised here. I mean, he's a Muslim faith, I guess, right? So,
Yes.
but he's still an American. First of all, let me say that this is a epic failure of police security. I don't get paid thousands. I don't get paid thousands of dollars to secure people. But if I did, I would have had up barriers on Bourbon Street to make sure that no cars can drive down. I don't know why there wasn't.
They said it was no, not to cut you off, they said it was no barriers because they was waiting for the Super Bowl. They had cop cars or that was in that as using as barriers. They wasn't even using any cement barriers. See,
Well,
we need to have more critical thinking when it's dealing with situations like this.
yeah,
Now, I have watched, I wanted to look up, and yes, I thought about the ISIS thing because that's one thing I kept noticing that the news was stressing. ISIS, ISIS, ISIS. I'm like, wait a minute. He's born here in America. What else is his story? He also is from the army. So what did he see over there? What did he feel? What happened? What made him snap automatically to do this? And then he just became a Muslim. They say he hasn't been a Muslim all his life. He just became a Muslim. So whatever happened, something snapped in him. I don't think that ISIS wrote him a personal letter and said, you know what, you go out there and you run people over. Something was wrong with him. He bugged the hell out. And if you look at his timeline, his footprint, he was there for a couple of days staking out the area, looking at the area because they said he wanted to kill. He has audios. You have to pull up his audio and listen to him. He has audio that he wanted to kill his family, but he didn't think that would make a bigger thing because he wants to talk about how people are being unrighteous, how people are not living according to a law. You understand? So he's more of a radical Muslim than a radical ISIS person because I didn't hear him one time in any of his videos or his listening thing, oh, I'm doing this for ISIS. He was more doing this because he feel like people are not following protocols. They listening to devil music or they're listening, they're not paying attention. They're getting into drugs, they into sex and all of that stuff. That's why he said what I'm getting from all his footage and what they pulled up, he did it for that. I think they just added on that extra stuff. And yes, America has did a whole lot of horrible things. How you think why they are who they are today? But again, we are Americans also, and we didn't have no hand in none of those horrible things that America done did. Now, people don't use that as a common sense. So be it, because look what's going on over there right now in Palestine. Kids, children, babies, they're just killing, 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 and they don't even care. And it's horrible because we're not a part of that. We are Black people. We have empathy and sympathy for others.
Kev, you got it. Well,
look, the bottom line is what you said, Carl. America has blood on its hands, and everybody's going to pay for it, and that's just the end. You know, that's it. I mean, you know, it's been rocket scientists to figure this out. You know, it's been going on dating back to the bombing of the Pan Am flight over Lockerbie, Germany, I believe. Lockerbie, I don't know if that's London or Germany, where the plane was. Pan Am was blew out the sky. That was what 1986, and it hasn't ended since. You know, it's been nonstop. You know, then 9/11 was the grandfather of it all, right? So, you know, people were pissed off at us. You know, and we can't That's why we got to get damn near butt naked to get on a plane. Take everything off
What's
now.
wrong with our people? What's wrong with our people? What was going on with him that he felt like he needed to run his car into people? That's some serious shit. And then not too long from that, you have another man right in front of Trump, a army person also from the army, and he blows up in that truck. So it's like something is going on with our domestic terrorism where we need to deal with that. We really need to deal
I
with
have a
that.
bigger question. And why is it Muslims? I mean, why every time something's blown up or a terrorist group hits on? Because I mean, we know tomorrow's January 6th. We saw what 4 years ago what those
The insurrection,
those
yes.
terrorists did, and they're
And those was
terrorists.
Christian terrorists.
And those
They was
Christian
Christian.
terrorists. So yeah,
Okay?
so let's not get it twisted. I'm not just
Thank you.
picking strictly on Muslims, but I'm talking about radical Muslims, like
Oh,
9
radical.
9/11 and the airplane bombings and the Beirut bombing that killed all the Marines and just all the bombings that happened throughout the history, the car bombs and guys run up in
Horrible.
guys run up into crowds with bombing jackets on, all that stuff. Those are all Muslim people of Muslim faith. Why is that? Like, okay, Christians are bad, but there's no Christians that I know of running up into crowds, blowing themselves to smithereens just to kill 80 people. You know what I'm saying? Even the guys that blew up the Boston bombers that hit the marathon a few years back. Those guys were Muslims too, right? So
It's different religions, different feels, and yeah, you're right. In our eyes, it seems like it's more of the Muslim faith that's more radical, and very aggressive. They can be very aggressive, but then on the other end, it could be a beautiful culture. I mean, a beautiful religion. But you have people that take it to the extreme, and I believe that he took it to the extreme, especially as a black man. You understand? You looking like, why? It was that serious that you felt like you needed to do that, to run somebody over. And he took 15 people out. And that's horrible. So no, we need to look more into us. Like as you said, America that done did some bad shit. We need to look more into ourselves and deal with ourselves and find out why are we creating this? Because we already know we got our enemies. We already know that. Okay, because of all the things they done did. But what about our domestic terrorism going on? Because that's what's going on. It's domestic, it's in-house.
Tiffany, when this first happened, I think I was speaking to my sister on the phone. And the first thing I said to my sister was, I pray to God, this guy, whoever did this is not black.
I know.
I was like, hopefully this person ain't black. And then it took so long to release his picture, so I kept going to myself, well, they ain't released a picture. It must be a white guy, because if it was a black guy, that picture would have been out. And I finally turned on the news, and there it is. I see the picture, and it was
It's a
a
black man. So
black man. I was
horrible.
like, and then your heart just sink, like, oh, here we go.
Yes.
He
From
black?
Here we go.
Texas. He lived and breathed. He was born here.
Is he black or dark skinned Indian?
No, he's black.
He's
I
black.
think he's black. He's
Oh,
straight
oh,
from Texas.
no, okay. Are you sure he's black?
But let me see.
Dark.
I need to
You
look
mean
at
that
his
like African American
ancestry.
black, like just straight
Yeah,
up
dark.
Kevin Lee African American black, like Wesley Snipes black? I don't know if he's I don't know if he's a straight up African American male. I'm not quite sure if but he's born in America, so he is American. His birth certificate
Let's
says
Right.
he's
find out.
American.
They have to have his parents or because he said he wanted to kill his
Dark.
family.
He looks like a dark skinned Indian from India.
Oh, you talking about like Kamala?
Yeah, from India. He looks like I have
You
friends who
watch your mouth, Tiffany.
look like him who are from
Excuse me for a second. Oh, puppy.
I'm gonna look it up right now. See, okay, because his name is Jabbar. Jabbar.
because when I first saw him, I said to me he looks like not that it makes a difference, he's still a murderer, but I'm sure he looks very much to me like a dark skinned Indian, not an Afro black person. he's black because his skin's dark, but he looks like a dark-skinned Indian from India.
Okay, now he's a dark-skinned Indian. Okay, let's find killer from New Orleans.
Yeah, what he is. I know one thing. He did a horrible thing, and I feel so bad for those people, man. And I'm just like, I don't care if the Super Bowl was coming. I don't care what was coming. If you have a New Year's Eve celebration, and you know thousands of people are going to be on Bourbon Street, you have to have that road secure. There's no reason
Yes.
that guy was able to get a pickup truck on a street with that many people and speed to the point where he's able to pick up the speed that he picked up to run those people down. I saw a video of the car. I mean, of the pickup truck. It was going so fast.
Yes.
I couldn't believe he was going that fast. I was like, oh my God. He was like doing like
85 miles an
70.
hour. 85.
85? That's crazy that he was able to pick that much speed up. There's no way that should have happened. You know, he should have been shot before he got up. I think the cops failed. The police failed, and nobody's talking about their failure to protect these people.
Thank you. See, I think that should be a main topic because they did not have it was first of all, that's New Year's. And you know that's a major attraction, New Orleans. Why? Like you said, why was the security? And if you look at one of the videos, you saw cops that was like 10 of them all together standing in one spot. They must have got a call and then took off running. Y'all supposed to be on point watching everything that's going on. Again, they said them barriers was not up because they were waiting for the Super Bowl. So also, we need to come up on our security. I'm sorry, because look at New York. New York they had guns, Uzis. They made sure everything was protected. You can't even get close to anything down there unless you see a cop or an army person.
But that's the thing about America, because now all the attention is always focused on New York because of 9/11. So obviously the terrorists are not going to attack New York again. They're going to find another city that America is not focused on. I'm sure that's why that guy decided to go to New Orleans, because he knows there's going to be thousands of cops, in New York, because, we know New York is like the epicenter of America. Everybody thinks you bring New York down, you bring America to its knees. So that's why there's so many police and stuff. But the terrorists know that. So while all the attention is on New York, they're going to start hitting smaller and other targets. So I don't know, but I'm figuring this is why that guy he chose New Orleans. And very short memory also, right? America forgets. They think the terrorists forget and everything goes back to normal. And America thinks that terrorists, they're gone about, but no, they're planning another attack.
Right.
To catch America off guard.
Yeah. A lot of that, yeah. Man, that's just horrible, man. It's just horrible. Like New Year's Eve, you're like, man, that's just horrible. Because that's when you make your New Year's, oh man. I can't even get over the fact that these people are celebrating the beginning of a new year at 3 a.m. in the morning, their life is gone.
Yeah. Well,
that quick, man.
To get at the root of the problem, you know what the root of the problem is that,
Well, America is not going to change. They've been doing what they've been doing for over 300 years, right? That's why all the black ass is here. I mean, it's just America's America. America's not going to change, but nobody's going to run over Congress and presidents and all these people with their hand in the cookie jar that are living in mansions and got security and living the life that they're living, so they're fine. It's the guys who go out and have a drink with their buddies or go to the movies with their girlfriend or get on a plane and go visit loved ones in another state that end up not making it because as Malcolm says, chickens come home to roost. But usually don't come home to roost on them, it comes home to roost on us. The innocent people always pay the price for the greedy kings of the country, kings of the world,
Yeah.
It's the way it is. It's just the way it is, man. So nothing's going to change, Carl. Those radical groups like ISIS, and they're always going to be angry at America. And when you kill them off, and we kill their leaders, we didn't bomb their leaders and kill them. We killed, I think, 2 of the top guys of ISIS over the last 4 or 5 years. Found them, blew them up. Right? Don't matter. Bin Laden got killed too. All those guys get killed eventually. There's new ones. Because they're born to hate us. They're groomed to hate us from the moment they're able to talk.
But there's a reason groomed to hate us, though. They're not just groomed to hate us just for hating's sake. They're groomed to hate us because they're told this America, America killed.
They're brainwashed to hate us. You have to be brainwashed to blow yourself up.
Yeah.
But you really do have to be. They'll strap a bomb to your body and go into a crowd and just detonate it, knowing you're going to die. That's a lot of hatred.
Well, we're over there bombing their Middle Eastern countries, and that creates anger. So.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, it does, Carl.
We can go to the Middle East and bomb countries. How come countries can't come to America and bomb America?
Because they're bombing you and I.
Yeah,
that's why. They're bombing people that have nothing to do with. They're not bombing the people that's dropping the bombs. They're bombing some 17-year-old girl on Bourbon Street who got ran over with a pickup truck at 85 miles an hour.
We're doing the same thing in their country. We're killing 17 and 18-year-olds and babies. And
no, we aren't doing nothing.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
We aren't doing nothing.
We're not doing anything.
We're doing a podcast right now. The only thing I killed in the last couple of weeks is an ant in my kitchen.
I
It was
don't
an
do
ant.
killings. That's why I think we have to fix our words.
I took out some ants. I'm sorry. We took out some ants. There's some ants in my cabin. There they go.
Oh my gosh.
As an American,
I feel guilty about that too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I killed an ant and feel guilty about it.
We're going to get more information because there's still more information coming out because every day they're coming out with more information. They're finding his video, his Facebooks, and all of that. And we'll find out if his family, if he's a first generation or was he born here, because that's something to look at.
But it's
also
not about him. This has been going on for years now where terrorists are trying to blow up America, trying to kill people in America. It's going to happen after this. There's going to be more after this. And this is not going to stop. It doesn't end with him. It doesn't end. He's not the first, and he's not going to be the last. And the reason they keep doing it is because of what America is doing. It's very simple. It's not.
And also something was mentally wrong with him.
We have to suffer because we as regular citizens who are just going about our daily lives, some of us are going to die because, there are people in the Middle East who are going about their daily lives. There are people who are going to the supermarket and this thing, boom, they're gone. Right.
Again, we must deal with our domestic terrorism because it's horrible. Okay.
Also called Tiffany. What happened was bad, but a Muslim terrorist group kills Americans once every 2 or 3 years. They get off an attack and take out some Americans, and it's horrible and devastating to our psyche, right? And to the people that lost their lives. It's really bad for their families and stuff like that. But domestic terrorism is 10 times worse. More people in this country have died from 18-year-old white mass shooters.
Thank you.
White mass shooters in this country. Carl, you and I talk about it all the time. When we go into a grocery store, we're looking over our shoulder, right? Carl, are we looking over our shoulder for a Muslim with a bomb, or are we looking over our shoulder for some 18-year-old white kid with a high-powered rifle?
Right.
We're looking over our shoulder for John Boy, who got a gun for Christmas from his dad, and he's coming out to shoot a bunch of Americans. Patricia and I used to love going to the movie theaters. We haven't been to the movie theater probably in 10 years. Refuse to go to a movie theater. I ain't going to no damn movie theaters no more. I'll see it on Netflix when it comes on.
Yeah, we got enough ticky booms here.
My movie theater days are over because I can't sit and enjoy a movie looking over my shoulder.
Let me tell you something. That 9/11 did something to me. You understand? I don't know, how it affect y'all, but that 9/11 did enough for me to. I pray all the time that we would not have nothing like that happen again. You understand? Like that was the most horrible thing, and to know that I was near that building, I was in that building, I ate in that building, I chilled in that building, my peoples worked in that building. You understand? To know that people died. So that's it right there. I'm gonna be honest, it gives me anxiety by y'all just talking about it. Like I said, we need to deal with what's going on here. And that right there is ridiculous. And for y'all, like I said, for him to take the ISIS ideology to come here to kill people because they listening to rap or they listening to the devil music or they doing drugs and stuff and all of that stuff, because that's why he said he did it. Okay, so that's an issue for me. So we need to deal with that. Like you said, these little young white boys going in these schools, they killing people. Now you got these trans people. That's the next story over here killing people. You understand? And they not using their correct identity. It was a trans person. Oh, it was a woman. No, no. Come on, let's keep it real.
And see, you learn something new every day because I didn't even know it was a trans woman. That I thought it was a woman all this time, Tiff, until you guys said it was a trans woman that stabbed us. Because the first thing popped in my mind when I was like, and anybody could be done. I'm not Bruce Lee. That shit. I'm not Chuck Norris, so anybody can stab you. But the first thing popped in my mind was, how is this woman able to get that many stabs off on this dude? Because usually a dude can overpower a woman in most cases, right?
Let me.
So yeah. So the fact I wondered that for like the last 3 days, how the hell did this woman was able to stab this dude like this without him
I'm
defending
gonna say
himself?
Carl,
But
you got
now
the
that you made
story?
sense, it was a man
Yeah.
in a wig. That changes
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah. All right. So there was a altercation in a New York bodega between a postal worker, a male worker, and
Yes.
a person of the transgender community. And the person of the transgender community ended up stabbing and killing the postal worker. So here we go.
New details surrounding the stabbing death of a U.S. postal worker in a deli. Police have identified the 24-year-old suspect who's charged with second-degree murder. An employee also tells us the two were regular customers who had no history of disputes in the past.
He says it started right here while the two were waiting in line, fighting over who was first in line. Then that argument spilled over here to where the coffee machine is and got physical. And this employee tells us that it seemed as though Hodges was here first and then Cruz crossed in front of him and it sparked a whole argument. Here, take a listen to what he said.
I separated them. The male guy in the front, the lady, she was in the back. She's spilling him in his face, and male guy, he get mad. She's spilling him. So he was lemon juice mixed with a coffee machine. He throw on her. So she took the knife. This is so bad. This is my first time I see this happen from my face.
And this all unfolded yesterday at around 2:30.
Police have arrested a woman in the fatal stabbing of a postal worker inside a deli in Harlem.
That's right. Police say an argument turned deadly all over a spot in line to order. Good day's Briella Tomasetti live in Harlem with the very latest info that we know about this suspect. Briella, good morning.
Yeah, just a heartbreaking story, Dan and Rosanna. Good morning to both of you. 24-year-old Jaya Cruz has been charged with the murder of 36-year-old Ray Hodges, who was stabbed to death just yesterday while on the job here in Harlem. Cruz was led out of the 28th precinct shortly before midnight yesterday, covering her face with a black hooded sweatshirt and avoiding questions from reporters. According to police, the attack happened inside Joe's Grocery on Malcolm X Boulevard and West 118th Street at around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. Hodges, an on-duty postal worker, was found with stab wounds about the body. He was rushed to Harlem Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly afterwards. Police confirming with us that the stabbing followed an altercation over a spot in line and that a knife was also recovered at the scene. Neighbors tell us they ran into Hodges all the time while he was on his daily route, and they are in complete disbelief that this happened.
I know the guys who deliver mail, and just like that, he's gone. It's very scary. Anytime you wake up, anything can happen. You can just, like they said, it's an argument, so you can just say hello to somebody and you start. Something like that. It's disheartening, to say the least.
Yeah, again, the attack happening at the deli just a few feet away from where we're standing in the broad daylight. Cruz could be arraigned on second-degree murder charges as early as today.
I'm going to send my prayers and my condolences to Ray Hodges' family. And we're going to get down to the full story. So they released the full story, detail by detail of what happened. So Jaya allegedly came in the store after Ray. She was not in there first. They were not in there. It's like, oh, I came in first, you came in second. He was in there first. He was at the counter talking to the worker, counting his money, about to place his order because they said he was making sure he had enough money for his lunch. Now, Jaya came in after him, and the worker was like, she had bags like from the grocery store. She put them on the side near the coffee machine. So when she was about to go order, I guess she was like, excuse me, or she about to just, if you from New York, and I guess she started telling her order. He was like, no, I was here first. And then they started going back and forth. And yes, there were other customers in the store who were trying to break up the fight. They broke up it wasn't a physical fight yet. It was like a back and forth argument between them. They successfully got them apart. They stopped talking to each other. Even the worker said he came from behind the counter and tried to, hey, listen, it's not worth it. Don't worry about it. So Ray just, he said Ray went about his business. He's standing in the store. Allegedly, Jaya spit a loogie on him. And he threw lemonade at her. And that is when, after he threw that at her, that's when she pulled out the knife. And I need her friend who said that this is self-defense to come to the front. What is self-defense about that? She spit on this man, allegedly. She started the whole altercation, allegedly. He didn't pull out. Listen, self-defense, if she was like, oh, that mailman pulled out mace and he sprayed her in the eye and she had no choice but to take out the knife and handle da-da-da. But that's not what happened. She spit on him. He didn't spit on her, allegedly. And they haven't put her through the system yet. So once they update, probably on Monday, they'll have her in the system. But I'll let you guys know and update. Again, my prayers and my condolences to Ray's family. I believe they said he has children or a child. Again, once the update comes, I'll got you.
All right. That story on Ray Hodges, a mailman, 43 from New York, was in a bodega arguing with a person of the transgender community. Allegedly, she spit on him and he threw something on her, and the transgender person pulled a knife and stabbed him to death.
This is almost as senseless as the guy that was stabbed to death arguing over Popeye's chicken sandwich. Like one guy stabbed another guy in line arguing over Popeye, who was in line or Popeye's chicken sandwich. So you got one guy in jail right now doing time for murder because he's already been convicted. Another guy who went to the cemetery. This guy, lady, or you said transgender, is now at 24 years old, threw his life away. And then the other guy, the mailman, life is gone over who's first in line.
And it's so when you go into a bodega, because that's I have to get my heroes from the bodega. I love the bodega. I'm straight from Brooklyn. So
Right.
I done been in stores like that where we'll go in and somebody will come in, are you online or whatever? I'll be like, no, I was here first, or whatever the case may be. When I first saw them take the person out, I was like, that's a big person. I was like, a model is out here. Like she was taller than the cops. Did y'all see when they brought him out?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this person is big as hell. So I'm like, what would happen that this person felt this serious to stab him up like that? I knew something was going wrong. So then as I'm going down, because you want to get more information, and somebody was like, please, I want to be corrected. This was a trans person, but the news kept saying a woman. So I'm saying to myself, why they're not giving him the proper pronouns? He's trans. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all need that could be able to clear a lot up. Now you come into this bodega, the young man is already there already. He's making his order, but you get an attitude or you going through something. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I know a lot of people they take hormones. So their energy is up and down, up and down, up and down. Because I have worked with trans and I done saw it for myself. So now they said that they get into an argument on who go first. They said the man just, like he said, the worker comes down to try to separate them. They said the person went behind the worker and wound up spitting on him. Now we black people. That spitting shit is not gonna work. Now he didn't hit her. He threw the lemon juice. It was the lemon juice at her, whatever the case may be. And that's when they started tussling. And that's when she came out and she pulled the knife out and she stabbed him repeatedly. But they said he was trying to fight, like get her off of her, because she was on him. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just really sad that you can't go into a store to order food or anything. You have to worry about getting your life taken or you getting stabbed or hurt or anything like that. This is why we got to really deal with the people here. They are ticky boom booms. That's out of control. Out of control. And they say he was a nice guy. They said he was working hard. He just, with being a mailman to take care of his child. And now for his life to be gone, and then this person, and then the news is over here doing false propaganda. Call it how it's said. And if y'all remember, the two of the school shootings, those shooters was considered queer and trans. Did y'all don't remember that? But they didn't talk about that a lot. Y'all remember?
I remember one. I remember one. I don't know. I didn't know there were two that were
It
concerned.
was two. It's two of them. I think it was two. That one was trying to be a woman and one was trying to be a man. But they were a part of the LGBTQ queer community. And most of these young people be taking these hormones and they be having them up and down. I'm telling you, they really need to look more deep into it, but we're going to start finding out more information. Because remember, it just happened. So we're going to get more information about this.
All right, I want to read something here. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but damn it, man, that's his YouTube name. Ask us a question. He asked this question. He wants to know, what about the domestic terrorist gang members in the United States that smoked more blacks in 1 year than all blacks died in the 8 years of Iraq war? Do tell. So basically, he's asking, how come we're not talking about the black gang members in Chicago that kill more black people than were killed in the Iraq war?
Well, I doubt if those numbers are correct, but if I can just say that we have done shows on black gang violence in America. We're just not talking about that today.
Yeah, but you just heard me sit here arguing with my co-host about domestic terrorism. You understand? We have it here. Yes, we do have it here. So we do talk about it. And we do need to do something about it. And it all starts at home. Okay.
And black gang violence is a manifestation of America, like we were talking about earlier. America has dirt on his hands. You want to talk about Chicago? There's no drug factories in Chicago. There's no gun factories in Chicago. Those guns and drugs are brought into these inner cities. Provided for these people in a sense. It's all a big circle. The prison system is privatized. The prison system is a 500 fortune company. It makes billions of dollars. When you build a billion dollar prison with, let's say, I'm just throwing a number out, it has, let's say the prison has 7,500 beds. Those 7,500 beds have to be filled up in order for people to have jobs. The security, the people that work at the prison, the nurses, the doctors, the psychiatrists, the prison guards, the warden who makes probably $300,000 a year. All these jobs got to be filled, and so they got to fill those prisons up. And who do you think they're gonna fill them up with? They're gonna fill them up with young black, most of the young black men. You know, so of course, in the richest country in the world, so-called richest country in the world, we have ghettos, you know, and inner cities. These kids are born into poverty that, anybody on this panel and probably the person that made that comment wouldn't want to drive down those streets in broad daylight, you know?
Right.
And so these people are born into these horrific situations, bad schools, no grocery stores in their neighborhood to get good food, liquor stores on every corner, drugs made easy to get, and people that are depressed are going to do drugs and they're going to drink alcohol and they're going to do these things, and then poverty brings crime, so that's why you have all the shootings in Chicago. Let me say this real quickly, because people always bring up that, why do black men kill each other in Chicago? Before black men were killing each other in Chicago, Italians were killing each other in Chicago.
Right.
The Italian mafia, people like Al Capone, who we know from the movies, but was a real life person, ran illegal alcohol business and was bringing in millions of dollars, because back in those days, alcohol was what drugs are today.
Right.
Alcohol was an illegal business. And that's where the Kennedys got their money from. Joe Kennedy was a freaking alcohol guy. He made millions of dollars off of alcohol. That's why his family lived like kings for years, because of all the legal things he was doing. Nobody ever talks about that, right? And so Al Capone and before Al Capone, he's the most famous of them. But all those gangsters were Italian men who were shooting each other up in the streets and blowing each other up and killing everybody, and now we glorify it with movies, the Untouchables and Elliot Ness and Kevin Costner playing, and Al Capone was played by Robert De Niro and Goodfellas out of New York with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. We glorify Italian mobsters in movies and stuff now and make them folk heroes, right? But those are real life characters.
Them.
Right. They were real life characters. Joe Pesci, I love Goodfellas, one of my favorite movies. But the guy that Joe Pesci played in, the violent gangster that Joe Pesci played in Goodfellas, was a real life character who terrorized the streets of New York.
Most of them was.
Yeah, they were. They were real life characters. Goodfellas was based on a true story. So people go, well, how can nobody talk about the gangsters in Chicago shooting each other? Because we're not the originators of nothing.
Right, we're not. Listen, Dr. Henry Clark said it. He said he hated, God bless his soul, he was a master teacher that taught a lot about Black history. He said, I hate when people sit there and say black on black crime. He said, what about that? He said, they have white on white crime. They have Chinese on Chinese crime. They have Indian on Indian crime. They just glorify ours more and put theirs down. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody have their issues, but don't take it like we are the only one that have our own issues. We know we have our issues, and like you said, look what we have to go through as Black Americans. We are still surviving. You understand? Even our West Indian brothers and sisters, we still surviving America's bad behavior, or how we work, or our jobs, our food, this price gouging. We still surviving all of that. So it's just like, stop. We understand we don't want our people killing each other. We don't want our children to die. We don't want our nephews, our cousins, or anything to be hurt, our brothers in jail and stuff. Things just happen, and it's all about circumstances and where we at. We just pray that we make better choices.
One of my favorite shows is, and I try to catch it every week I'm not traveling, is Dateline NBC. And when I'm home a lot, I binge watch Snap, right? Which is a murder mystery document. It's basically a police. But it's real. It's real. It's based on real characters, real life stories of murders. And I watch these shows every week. When I finish this show tonight with you guys, I'm going to watch Snap, because that's what I do every Sunday. Right? When I get off the show, I'm going to watch me a couple episodes of Snap, because I love it. I mean, it's guilty pleasure. You're watching people being murdered.
But
it's bad, but I like it because I like. I like to see how these crimes are solved. It's more
Right.
to see how police solve these crimes because nobody gets away with it. You know, everybody
No.
ends up getting caught. No matter, even if it take you 10 years to find somebody, now they find somebody because now we have DNA technology, and they find somebody that did a murder 20 years ago, right? And that person think they're scot free, and next thing you know,
And they not.
police knocking on the door, and you're under arrest for the murder that happened in 1984. So
Right.
yeah, it's interesting stuff. But what I'm getting at, Tiff and Carl, is Patricia and I, we watch these shows every week, right? Snap, Dateline NBC every Friday. 90%, matter of fact, I'm going 98% of these shows are based on white people killing each other.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you
Okay.
got a murder case and there's black people, but 99% of them are freaking white people.
Yeah.
Some husband that killed his wife because he's having an affair, or some wife that killed her husband because she's having an affair and she don't want, or she killed her husband for the, she having an affair and she killed her husband
Insurance,
for the
yeah.
insurance, so she can get that $2 million or whatever. You know, she put arsenic in his oatmeal, and you know, it's the same shit every night, man. And I sit there and go, why do these people keep killing their spouses? And they kill one guy we watched last week. It's the saddest story I've ever seen in my life. It was on Netflix, matter of fact. This guy killed his wife and his two kids. His two kids, I think they were like 5 and 4. And he killed those two little girls, man. I was so sad
Was to
watching
be
that.
with somebody else or what?
He was having an affair, and it was a white guy having an affair with some young girl, killed his pregnant wife. She was pregnant, and they had two babies, like 4 and 5, two little girls, pretty little girls. And the wife was pregnant, and he killed them, faked it, called faked it,
Just to be in another relationship.
just to be in another relationship. Killed these two people, killed his pregnant wife and those two girls. And they had it on videotape of him the day before the murders. He had a camcorder of him hugging the girls and kissing them, and it was
Acting
the
like nothing. That's a
saddest story. And the day later, he
psycho.
murdered them. Saddest thing I've ever seen. I've watched so many of these stories, but that one broke me. I watched so many of these snaps, so many of these episodes, but that one just broke me, man. And I couldn't believe. I said, I don't know if I can watch this shit
People would
anymore.
do anything for love, attention. Like you just stated that. What about that lady that killed her 2 children, put them in the water, and then blamed it on a black person? Because she
That's been
wanted to
going on
be in a
forever, right?
relationship. You
That
remember
was going
that?
on.
Because
Yeah.
she wanted to be in a relationship, so they started to taking down all the black men. She said that they robbed her and took her babies, and it was you that put them babies in the water because you wanted to be with your new man. So yeah, so my
That
thing is,
happened in
it's not
Boston too.
only
Remember,
us,
Tiff? Tiff,
huh?
that happened in Boston too back in the 90s. Remember? The guy killed his family and then said black men did it, and they went in Boston. Carl, you remember that? Because you weren't living in the country back then, I don't think, Carl. But they went and raided all these black men in the hood.
I was in Boston. I wasn't Charles Stewart.
Okay, you remember that story, yeah. You
Charles,
remember that story, Carl?
yeah.
Where he killed his wife, killed his family, blamed it on the brothers, and then the police went into the hood and ransacked all these black people's houses looking for these suspects that didn't even exist. Then
Yeah, we
when they
have
found out it was
different
him,
crimes.
he
We
killed
have
himself.
different crimes than what you know. Our crimes is killing for turf. You understand what I'm saying? Who looked at who a man or a woman or your money or something like that. They just be killing shit for insurance. Or they want somebody else and they don't want your ass anymore. And they don't want you to get them. You know, so it's just real sad. So no, first of all, we hate crime, period. Anybody that's taking somebody else's life, we are against it. We just want to know what would make somebody tick to be able to do these things that they do, you know, and it's just sad. And we want to definitely say rest in peace to all these people that we are definitely talking about that has lost their life because of crime or some craziness.
Yeah, I mean what that guy said about black people killing each other in Chicago, taking more lives than the Iraq War. We know what he's trying to do. You know what I mean? But
You know what's sad about that, Carl, is that we're sitting up here mourning the loss of the people, the 15 people that lost their lives in New Orleans. And they weren't all black people. White people
They
died.
was mixed,
They were
yes.
mixed. We didn't say, hey, we only care about the black girl that
Black,
died. We care about
all
everybody
of them.
that was
Right.
ran over by that guy in the truck. You know, when we get some school shootings, which we cover on this show, we've covered school shootings where all the victims were white, and we still sit here and mourn that,
And
you
mourn
know.
them,
So
yes.
we're not here, you know, celebrating murder, or we don't care what color people are when they get murdered. We don't want to see anybody get murdered, you
Period.
know. Period. You know,
That's
it's not a colored thing. We don't. Jabbar could be
We're
white.
human.
Exactly. This guy that mowed these people down could be white, but he's not. But there's been plenty of white terrorists, right? You know, but we're not discussing that. We're talking about this fool who ran these people down and killed these innocent people, celebrating life on January 1st, and that's a damn shame that that happened. And it shouldn't have happened. Should have been better security there.
Better
But you
secure.
know,
And now all of these people are going to, half the people that did survive it, they're going to need counseling now. You understand? They're going to need counseling because they probably don't want to go back in the street no more, go out no more, because they don't know if some crazed maniac is going to do something because he's not happy with the world today. My thing is, why you want to take other people out? Take your own ass out.
we all need counseling because we're all affected by this. We all are scared, you know, to go. I remember we were talking about going to the Puerto Rican parade in New York. And like, what? The hell no. Like
Oh,
we're
no,
all,
I'm not going to
you know,
parade.
everybody's afraid to go out in public. Like I said, we don't even go to the movie theater anymore on dates. We have a date night. We go to the movie theater back in the day. Not anymore, you know. And like Carl and I always say, we go to the grocery store, we're ringing about groceries like this. You
Looking
know,
like, what the fuck?
we're always paranoid being out in these streets, you know. When you leave your house, it's a blessing to get back home.
Oh, okay. And say, thank you, God.
Exactly, because you're not guaranteed. Every time you walk out that door, you're not guaranteed to come back.
Or
Because so
even
much
when your
stupid.
children come in the house, you happy that they came in the house.
Because you can just be at a deli ordering a sandwich and lose your damn life.
Yes, because
At
of
a
some,
deli ordering a sandwich, which every New Yorker does, including me,
yes.
including Tiff. Every New Yorker goes to delis and order sandwiches.
I
You know,
love my bodega heroes.
and here it is. You can't go to a deli without losing your life. It's scary.
We're gonna move on, and we're gonna talk about the historically black college university marching band from Mississippi that was invited to play at the Trump inauguration on January 20th.
They needed some soul.
A lot of black people are happy. Surprisingly, I was very surprised at how many.
Really, you're surprised by black people being? I'm never surprised by anything we do stupid.
You so crazy.
Was surprised there were so many. I would say more than half the videos that I looked at were black people saying it's good for them and
It's not good for them. It's not good for them. It's not good for them.
saying it's good exposure and they can
Exposure for what? You're in a freaking band. What do you do? End up in a playing backup for Earth, Wind and Fire? What the hell? You're not. What type of exposure?
So here's what the black people are
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saying about their band.
Damn exposure.
This goes to Mississippi Valley State University, one of the three major HBCUs in the state of Mississippi. You got Jackson State University, Mississippi Valley State University, and Alcorn State University. Mississippi Valley has been chosen or picked to come and march in the inauguration that's happening on January 20th for the new elected president, Mr. Trump. And it's this big uproar. People don't want to donate and fund this. They calling these kids, sellouts. Even I even hear this old ass terminology like coons and shit like that. Like, I don't get it. These are Generation Z's. This is the future. Why not allow them to go there? Why not support them to go there? Okay? They got on their instruments so those instruments can take them places and get them a higher education, right? You all put so much personal endeavor into this shit, it don't make no sense that y'all not even worried about the next generation. And that's sad. And it's all these old heads that consider themselves as black or African American that's still trying to keep the people that they deem as black as African American in this little box ass ideologies so they can continue to be the leaders and dictate emotional behavior about who should support who. Support these kids. Them going to Washington, D.C. for the inauguration, you don't know how many of them might spark interest and want to become politicians. It got to start somewhere. Exposure. That's the number one thing that our community is lacking from any other communities or culture that exists. Fucking exposure. And you know how many different types of people and entities going to be there for that inauguration? That's a time for networking, connection, exposure. Y'all go down and say GoFundMe, man, support that thing, man.
So, bitter, broken, traumatized, victimized, extraordinarily racist and lame, stuck in 2012 Black Twitter is harassing these Mississippi Valley University students. Is that what the school called? Hold on. Mississippi Valley State University, who have been invited to perform at the president's inauguration. Now, these same people who on Twitter and TikTok and wherever else mad, trying to bully and harass these young people out of having their moment, ain't never played nothing but with their own lives. They don't have skills, talents, or gifts. They can't play instruments. They probably didn't even make it to college. And if they do have a college degree, they're bitter about the fact that they have student loan debt and never rose to the top of whatever career they aspire to. They probably never even worked successfully in the career field that they studied when they were in college. Because if they were happy people, they would be happy for those kids. They will not be harassing them. They are acting just like the bitter brothers and sisters, cousins and classmates who are mad that you went off to college in the first place, who want to make you feel like you're missing out on something for being away at college as opposed to at their baby shower. Y'all, do not worry about these haters. I am happy for y'all. Congratulations. I am proud of you. You play an instrument. A lot of people can't play an instrument. You're going to...
Wait a minute. I know it's a lie. I know that it's a lie that a Mississippi HBCU marching band is not trying to go march for Donald Trump. I know that's a lie. I know it's fabricated. I just saw one of the content creators just talk about it. I know it's fabricated. I know it's a lie. It has to be. There's no way. And then they over here trying to do what, a GoFundMe type thing for $350,000 to go carry it behind to march on my Martin Luther King Jr. Day? Isn't the inauguration on my Martin Luther King Jr. Day? The fact that the inauguration of this particular person on my Martin Luther King Jr. Day, because I got to confirm, because I know it's a lie. Because I know there was a whole big thing that we were all excited that Kamala was going to win and Kamala was going to be inaugurated on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. You have this particular person who's a felon, who's done a lot of bad, very bad, very, very...
Let me tell you how my reaction to this story went from bad to worse. As a fellow HBCU alum, go Alabama A&M Bulldogs, I saw that the marching band from Mississippi Valley State is going to play at Trump's inauguration. My first thought was like, man, that sucks. It's always somebody for sale. If you put a big enough check out there, somebody's going to jump on it. I don't care what the job is. Somebody gonna jump on it for a big enough check. So, that was kind of disappointing. Then I looked further into it and realized not only are they not getting a check, but they gotta pay their own way. And they're asking their supporters to fund their trip to the inauguration? What exactly are we doing here? Have we not learned anything from Chrisette Michele? Like, what good do y'all expect to come from paying your own way to go perform for a crowd full of white nationalists? This ain't gonna help your enrollment because these white folk don't want to go to a HBCU. And the black folk who see this about to be like, I ain't sending my kid to that school. What? Who's making decisions down there? Y'all should have at least got a check. But y'all paying y'all own way. On an unrelated note, I just did a live in Patreon about B. Simone's new hustle.
I'm caught like in between. Like, I feel like we don't want them to go because we worried about them because they're going to be around all those MAGA people. You understand what I'm saying? That's what the first thing came to my mind. because we know that they are horrible. You understand? We already saw what they did to the insurrection. But that's why I was worried about that. But then, you know, we want our young people to have experience. Okay. Remember, Mississippi, a lot of them don't know what really be going on. You understand? They family didn't tell them about their history. Maybe they need to go and experience that and see what it's all about,
Nope.
or just
No.
don't do it at all. But the
No.
worst thing for me is that they had to raise money. Now, Trump, if you are inviting these young people or whoever's in charge of your inviting, why do these young people have to pay or find people to help them to get there? You understand? Y'all should just sponsor them and say, we will sponsor y'all, we will take care of y'all, because that would show something better. But because he didn't do that and they had to raise the money, that's when I was like, I don't know, should they go out there or not?
Got Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, in his corner, right? Elon Musk is practically the president of the United States of America.
Basically, and he's the richest man in the world, and he's not covering these kids to come because he's a racist. Here's the bottom line. This is why Black people are pissed off. Because Black people with a brain cell in their head understand that Donald Trump is a racist, and they understand Donald Trump's history, and they know that 90% of the people that's going to be at this inauguration wouldn't piss on these kids to put them out of fire if they were on fire. Because those people are hardcore racists that's coming to the National Mall to see Donald Trump become the 47th president of the United States. We know who his crowd is. Tomorrow's January 6th. On every news station, maybe not Fox, but other news stations, they'll be showing clips of January 6th. Those are Trump supporters. When you watch that crowd that were going into the Capitol 4 years ago on January 6th, they had on Confederate flag stuff. They had Confederate flag hats, flags, and everything. Those people are the ones, are some of the people that will be on the National Mall on January 20th.
That's why
And
I'm
those
worried about their
people,
safety.
don't give a rat's ass about this ban. The ban was invited as a slap in the face, probably to Kamala Harris and to Democrats, and this ban was invited to say, look, we got a black band coming to play for us. They weren't invited out the goodness of their heart, because they were. Trump's rich
They
ass or
wouldn't have been
Elon Musk's
charging
rich
them.
ass would have paid for them to get to DC
Right,
and put them in
right.
a
That's
four-star
why I
hotel.
said
Trump
no.
owns hotels in Washington, DC.
Why you
He
can't
owns a
house
he
these
owns
young
a
people?
hotel. He owns a hotel 2 blocks from the White House. So on Pennsylvania Avenue. So Trump owns a hotel. How come the kids aren't staying there? You know why?
Right.
Because Trump's billionaire friends are staying there and paying big money to stay there. These kids got to raise money to come to the Republic. All this money floating around Washington, D.C., and all this money floating through Trump's camp, and all these rich people. J.D. Vance is rich.
It's the
What's his name?
organizers. It's the
All of them.
organizers. Yeah, all of them. They wrong. So you right. I wouldn't, because they didn't offer to pay full for them to get there and come back safely and have security, because we know that your January 6th people are willy-nilly loose. No, you are 100% right. Now, if they would have came correct for them, maybe I probably would have thought about it, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Our young people need to have this experience. They need to see what racism look like. They need to see how people treat others. You understand? And a lot of them never even came out of Mississippi before, or even traveled or went anywhere. So, but as we see, they was not paying. So I'm not sending my child where I gotta pay for them to be harassed. No. And come on, Kev, you know we have more. He's not the only racist president. All the presidents we had done had was racist. It's just that this one is out loud.
Tiffany, that is true. That is totally true. This one just saying it out of a freaking loudspeaker.
Yes. Testing 1 2. I am a goddamn racist.
All right, so Scooby D2, one of our, I would say, close to one of our top fans, said something, and I'm not offended, but I'm gonna read what Scooby said, and then I'll say what I have to say, and then you guys can say what you. Scooby says, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't really watch the news because it's depressing. It's all bad news, and I'm starting to feel a bit this way about this show. It just seems like constant bad news, and I find that negative and depressing. But I'm tired and I don't feel well, so I apologize. I apologize if you're offended. I do feel that you try to make a positive change. So basically, he's saying that our show is bad news after bad news after bad news, and it's depressing, and he's getting tired of it. And Scooby, I understand that our show is not for everyone. There are people. Fox News is horrible news after horrible news after horrible news. You watch Fox News, there's nothing uplifting or fun about Fox News. But they're the number one show in the country. People watch them all the time. No one, you know what I mean? There are a certain demographic that watches Fox News because Fox News gives them what they like. This show is not for everyone. It might not be for you, Scooby. I'm not offended. I don't do this show to please anyone. I and Kevin and Tiffany, we come here and we talk about what we want to, about what we talk about because we
The
want to,
latest topics.
yeah, and we want to help Black people. That's why I do this show, Scooby. And being Black in America is not fun. You know what I mean? It's not. Um, and the things we talk about, and it's not stuff we make up. Kevin doesn't sit here and say, "Hey, let's make some up and talk about it on Sunday." We look at the news, we look and see how it affects Black people, and we choose the topics based off of that. We don't lie, and that's the number one thing we say we're not going to do when we do this show. We all do research. We always look stuff up. We make sure we're not making anything up. We're not, we did this show today about people in general being killed. We never said we only interested in, like Kevin said, about Black people being killed, or white people being killed in that attack in New Orleans. We were upset because people died in New Orleans who should not be dead today. We didn't know what color, what religion, what group they belonged to. All we knew was people died who shouldn't have died. Right?
I think Carl and Tiff and Scooby too. I think that Carl, Tiffany, and I would have loved to come on this show tonight and not have to talk about people being ran over by a truck at 85 miles an hour.
Okay.
We'd love to come on this show and not talk about a guy losing his life ordering a freaking sandwich at a deli. Like, we don't get any pleasure out of this. The show is hard for us to do too. That's why we call it the Black Therapy Show. But it's not an easy show to listen to. We do cover the topics,
And we have to have the conversation.
After the election was over, I'm a news junkie. My two co-people here on the show know that. I'm a news junkie. But after the election, I said, I'm not watching MSNBC and CNN no more. And I can count probably on 1.5 hand how many times I've actually sit and watch. I used to watch Abby Phillips every night on CNN. She comes on at 10. I watch her every night, religiously, 5 days a week. I think I've watched her show once since the election. November 5th is now January. I've probably tuned in once and watched her show. Because I get it, I've tuned out on politics at this point, but I'm not tuned out on life. So all this stuff affects us, sir. This affects us because it could be your loved one on Bourbon Street. It could be your loved one in the mall when a mass shooting happens.
Right.
It could be your loved one on an airplane, that goes down because of a terrorist bomb or something like that. It does. So this affects us all. I fly, my family flies, my mom flies, my brother's about to fly next week. I'm worried about that, My brother's going to the inauguration because he's a vendor. He'll be there next week, you know. So, I mean, you know, in a few weeks, you know, but you know, I worry about the world we live in.
Yeah.
We have to discuss the world. We can't just turn off the TV, turn off the radio, and pretend that this is the Wizard of Oz and everything is cool. There's nothing outside but green grass and pretty flowers coming out of it. We can't pretend that because it's not a reality. We have a racist president, a racist administration who wants to put Project 2025 into full gear. He wants a mass deportation. He wants to round up people like the Nazis did. You know, he wants to do all this stuff. You know, he has Elon Musk, who's not even part of this country, calling shots. The richest man in the world, you know, wants to get rid of Social Security that I'm going to need, that my 80-year-old mother going to need, that my sister's going to need, that my brother needs.
All
You
of
know,
us need
all of us
shit.
need, right?
Because
But
we
he wants to
work
get rid of
hard.
richest man in the world who's not even from this country wants to get rid of Social Security for my relatives and yours. So yeah, we're going to discuss that. You know, we're going to discuss all the bad shit that happens in America because we're Americans. We live here. We got to deal with it every day. We got to deal with police violence. You know, we got to talk about it. I'm an African-American male. I get in my car every day and look over my shoulder and hope I don't get shot by a cop.
And we got to
So
teach
we
our
deal
sons that too.
exactly. So we got to deal with this stuff every day, and we use this show to talk about it. We try to come up with some answers. We have people that watch the show. Hopefully, they got something positive to add to the show. You know, it's a hard show to watch. I get it, and we appreciate you watching. But if it's too much we've had, matter of fact, I don't know how long you've been watching, but we've had people that was part of the show that left the show because it was too much for them.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk
We
about
had
black
panel
issues.
members. We had panel members on this show that said, "Man, I can't do this anymore, Carl. I need a break. I can't do this anymore. It's too hard." So I get it. People that was part of the show left the show because it was too much for them emotionally.
Yeah,
I get it.
so
You
we
know,
get it. But also, Mr. Scooby, you know, first of all, I'm sad that you're not feeling well. I know how it feels to not feel well. But I'm gonna give you some advice my mom did. My mother got tired of watching African movies. She got tired of watching the news and seeing evil stuff. She's been watching Christmas movies for 6 months. Watch some Christmas movies. You want to see some love and peace and get you some Christmas movies and watch it. Watch some love stories. Watch something that makes you feel better. You know, and you can come back to us. We understand because I can't take it all the time either. You understand? But you know, we sorry that we make you feel like that. But also people have to understand when we did this show. You know, before I got there, it was the Five Black Comments. Now it's the Black Therapy Show. We wanted to have the conversation about what was going on in today's world with Black people. So, I mean, we're talking about what's going on, and this is the topics that's going on. And again, yes, you think that we don't want to talk about something sweet and nice and all of that, but every time you turn around, there's something crazy going on. So, we want to definitely work on it where maybe once a month, Carl, we're going to do Candyland and cookies and creams and all that beautiful stuff to make people feel a little bit better because I don't, you know, we don't want to lose people because they can't deal with the trauma that's going on in
hey,
America.
you know what, Tiff? It's January 5th. You know, on New Year's Eve, I did my show, went back to my hotel room, turned on the TV, and I see the breaking news about the people getting ran over in New Orleans.
Right.
And then there was a car explosion at Trump Tower with the
Which that is the
ugly ass electric car exploded in front of Trump Tower, the Tesla truck. And then the stabbing in New York. And I'm like, wow, it's like 2 days into New Year's Day, 2 days into the new year, and
it's already popping.
all this stuff is already jumping, right? Exactly. I'm like, this is gonna be a long ass year. If all of this has happened in 5 days, this is gonna be a long year. You know.
Okay. We just
So
look. We just hope Cat Williams don't do another interview.
well, I heard he's scheduled. I heard he's scheduled to sit down again with which call him. Yeah, so they're gonna. It's gonna be another Cat Williams.
Oh
Yeah, he's
God.
about to do another interview with Shannon Sharp. Yep, he's scheduled to sit down with Shannon again. Yep. So it's gonna be another. You know, Cat Williams starting the year off doing an interview. Yep. So I heard he's scheduled to do another one. Yep. Another sit down. So it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, there you go, man. So it's
We
5
love you,
days. 5 days
Scooby
in. Look at
Doo.
all the stuff that happened. We haven't even got to January 20th yet.
Scooby,
And it's already popping.
you want Scooby? You can take a break. Take a month off.
Yeah,
From,
take a black therapy show break.
yeah.
They're not gonna do that. Everybody's addicted to this show. Stop it. I remember when we used to take breaks off for ourselves, Card to go back to his country, or I'm out of town, anything, and we take a break, and people are like, "Man, y'all ain't on."
Yeah, or something just happened and you ain't see it, and you know.
Yeah.
All right, Scooby. So maybe you might like this. So we're gonna talk about Ice-T. If you haven't heard, Ice driving one of it got pulled over. It's a car registered for 3 years.
He should be ashamed of himself.
Scooby, here's something that might be fun for you. Okay.
Officer Silla, Hudson County Sheriff's Office. Let you know you're being recorded, okay?
I'm headed to the DMV. This is where I'm going to get all my registration and everything straight on this car.
At first, everything appeered to be normal as a simple traffic stop, but things would soon escalate between the actor and the officer.
You know your registration expired since 2021.
That's where I'm going. I'm headed right there.
When did you decide to go and change?
Yesterday. I went yesterday.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is registration been expired since 2021.
Car's been parked.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course I'm sure. That's why I'm trying to get this car set up to roll. Yesterday I went to the DMV and they said that their system was down, so that's where I'm headed. I got 7 cars. I'm trying to get them all straight.
You say you went to DMV yesterday? They said the system is down?
Yesterday, yep.
What time was your appointment yesterday?
I didn't have an appointment. They just take me.
You need to have an appointment to go to DMV.
I don't need one.
Why is that?
Because they know me.
Because they know you. Is your passport? Do you have a driver's license with you?
Yeah. I'm getting that. That has... That's expired.
So you have your license expired as well?
That's why I'm going to the DMV.
Sir, even if it's 1 feet, you cannot drive with an expired license and expired registration.
I mean, why don't you follow me right to this garage right here? The DMV is right there. You don't gotta be that serious about this. I mean, you can, but you don't have to.
Well, is it serious? So, give me 1 second.
I could park the car right here and then walk to the DMV.
That's 566. It's 56. I'm good. I'm with our road.
Those are all the things.
You said you have other vehicles registered?
I have 7 vehicles.
Okay.
Receipt. Do you want me to start the hood?
It's 56. It's the somebody. You could have drive the other vehicle who was registered and get this one registered.
Can I handle this? Can I handle this? You gonna take me to jail?
I'm not gonna take you to jail.
Okay, can I park the car here and walk to the DMV?
I'm gonna tow your vehicle. It's
No, you're not. You're not finna tow my vehicle. Let me park my car right here.
You're not gonna move your car, sir. You give me.
Oh my God, man! You know, let me start off, man. First of all, See,
Yeah,
that's
go
ridiculous.
ahead, Cass.
Every cop. Look, first of all, Mr. Ice-T was wrong. Let's get that out the back. But I've been
Thank
in that.
you.
But I've been in that boat before myself. And the cop did not tow my car. He uses a police officer can use his own judgment not to be an asshole. I've been in that position, Tiff, where the guy didn't tow my car. He made me park the car, but he didn't tow my car. Now, me being who I was, he told me to park my car and he let me off and told me just don't drive the car. When he pulled off, I went back later and got my car, right? Because that's what time I was on back then, right? So my point is he didn't have to tow the guy's car. He obviously knew that it was actor Ice-T. He knew that. Everybody knows Ice-T's face especially if you live in New York.
But that's
The
not
guy
on his license.
is not on his license, but I think you know who it is. Everybody watches freaking that TV. The guy's been on TV for 16 years straight. You have to know his face. I mean, you're not like he
Oh,
walked to the grocery
stop. He's
store
like a
and you go,
two-time.
you know what I'm saying? He knew who he was. And he wasn't driving no piece of shit car. It's a fancy car. Ice-T only has dope cars, right? So he's driving a high-end automobile as it is. Whatever he was driving, trust me, is top of the line
Porsche.
shit. All right, and it probably costs a couple $100,000 or close
But
to it.
wait a minute, he wasn't registered. The car wasn't registered, and his license was expired. So you got two things against you. All of that stuff could have been done online.
I
And the
get
cop
all of that.
asked him. He said, "Do you have an appointment? Because now you have to have an appointment to go in since the pandemic happened. You just can't be running up in there. But I'm Ice-T, and I got 7 cars that needs to be registered. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, come on. He was
Tiffany,
doing
two things can be true. You're right and I'm right. The cop was right and Ice-T is wrong. He didn't have to take it that far. That's my problem. He didn't have to do that. He could have said, look, I get it. And it ain't got to do anything with being a famous actor or rapper. It could have been anybody. It could have been Carl Yard, right? He could have just said, hey man, look, my hands are tied. I'm not gonna tow your car. You got to park your car, go get it registered, and come back and get it or whatever. But you can't drive this car right now and take care of your license while you're at it. He didn't have to do that. He did that because he know the guy got money because he's driving a Porsche.
and have 7
He knows
cars.
who it is. He did that because he knew who the guy was, and he knows by towing Ice-T's car, he'll get some high fives when he gets down to the station. I'm telling you.
And
The
also,
same
he
way that
was
cop locked up Justin
broadcasting. He had
Timberlake.
7 cars.
Huh?
And he was broadcasting. He had 7 cars, but you're not. A couple of your cars is not registered, and your license is not even on point.
And
So
he's a
no,
jerk.
I'm sorry. He deserved that embarrassment. He played himself. He played himself. You see his daughter. His daughter looked just like him. Oh my gosh! I mean, like he spit her right out. But that's so bug, like for real. Ice-T, stop it, okay? Just stop it. Go online, register, go get your license online, and then you go. And you got that much money, and you got 7 cars. You could have told your car, and you could have. Now you got to pay extra money. Now you got to pay these people because you were showing out. Now you just pay like you ain't.
Money's not an object to that dude. Trust me. I'm just saying. Whatever the toll fee was, that's peanuts to him. My
Did you
point
hear
is,
him? He said, "You're
it
not
didn't have
gonna tow my fucking car." Did you hear that?
it didn't have to go that far, man. I'm saying the cop was showing off. IC was wrong, but police officers always act like they're not human all the time, and that pisses me off.
That's the point. That's the point. They don't play with our black asses. He should have been on point. He already knew he was going to be a suspect. That's my
But we don't
point.
want to make this a racial issue, right? But do you think the white CEO in the Brooks Brothers suit, the $2,000 Brooks Brothers suit driving the Porsche will get the same treatment that Ice-T got?
Because he's not
I
going to be.
think
He's
not.
going to be registered. He's going to be registered, and
Not
he's
all
going to
the
have his
time. We
license.
think because he's white, he's always right.
Listen,
That
I bet
what
you
you saying,
he'd
Tiff?
be registered.
Tiff, that what you saying? He's gonna be registered because he's a
I
white guy
bet
and he
you
got
his
money.
white ass is registered.
So white guy. So. Okay, I got you. I got you.
They
That
don't have to worry about nobody stopping them and bother them because what they got skin protection.
well, Justin
Ice-T
Timberlake.
doesn't.
Justin Timberlake. is a multimillionaire. He got pulled over and arrested in New York a few months back. Remember, for drinking under the influence. He passed a sobriety check, right? He failed it. I mean, and locked his ass up.
Justin Timberlake was on Martha's Vineyard, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's some more Ice-T.
Well, get this on camera. This motherfucker. I'm a foot away from DMV.
Keep your distance.
You are a fucking asshole.
I'm not an asshole. You've been an asshole to me.
I'm an asshole. I'm trying to get to the DMV. I showed you all the paperwork. Let me start recording your dumb ass.
So 5-6, start the hook and start another unit.
You're in the parking lot for Dunkin' Donuts, right?
It's 5-6. I'm Sarge.
What's up, Sarge?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm trying to get to DMV to register my cars.
Okay.
I got all the paperwork and everything there. I asked the officer, could I just go over here or even park my car so that I could walk over there and get all my paperwork together. He says he wants to tow my car.
All right, give me a second. Let me find out what's going on here, and then we'll figure something out, okay?
Okay.
Right.
You're doing a little too much, Sarge.
Okay. So what I was going to do is just issue him a ticket, let him park here. Okay. He jumped out of the vehicle. He didn't even ask me. He came so close to me.
I'm not gonna. What Ice-T has done yet is apologize. He's wrong on all fronts. He doesn't. His license expired. His registration's expired. He has 7 cars. One of them must be registered, right? So why not drive those to DMV? But he's not. He should come with hat in hand, eating humble pie. I'm so sorry. I know my car registration expired. My license expired. I'm so sorry. What can I do to make this right?
Thank you.
You with the cop. You don't call a cop an asshole. I don't care if the DMV is.
That's the white side of him.
You know what I mean? Dude, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong every day during the week, twice on Sunday. He's wrong. Wrong.
He could have handled that totally different, but I don't know. Maybe he was doing for the likes and the clicks. I don't know.
See, that's the best part about our shows, that we can disagree with each other, because I disagree with you, both of you.
Yeah.
I think you're both there. I think the cop was being an asshole because I think that he's been an asshole. I think he's been an asshole because he knew it was Ice-T, and I think the cop knew that if I told Ice-T's fancy Porsche, I'm gonna get some love. I'm gonna get some. Ice-T was doing what he was doing. Ice-T doesn't need clicks and likes. He's been getting clicks and likes before there was a social media. The guy doesn't need clicks and likes, Tiffany. He's a freaking he's a star. The guy makes millions of dollars. He's been on TV for 16 years playing a cop on television.
Star. He thought he was on Law and Order. He thought they was gonna let his ass go, and it didn't work. Okay, you are a civilian at that moment, and you should have had all your paperwork. And if it was one of our asses, you know they was gonna tow our shit.
But he's wrong, Ken. He kept
He's
saying
wrong.
right there. And
I know I said he was wrong. But so was the cop. But so was the cop because the cop.
Kevin, the cop's not wrong.
The cop's not wrong. Okay, I think the cop was wrong. I think the cop. I don't like.
Because he didn't let him go because he got 7 cars.
No,
and
he
he
should
was
just
going right across the street. Come on now. He should have took an Uber. He should have took his car. He should have had somebody drive him there with a legit license, because you already know black men is already suspect immediately. But
My
he just
point is,
played
that happened in New York City, right?
No.
Where did that happen at? Was that Jersey or New York City?
That didn't happen in no New York City.
Yeah, yes, it did. He lives in New York.
Where in New York? I ain't never seen his ass. Where's it?
Ice-T and his wife Coco lives in New York.
Let me see if we can.
And the show is filmed in New York. The show that he's on is filmed in New York. He lives in New York.
7 cars is in New York.
Yes, he lives in New York. He lives in New York City.
Let me see if we can see the name of the police department on the police.
Yeah, he lives in New York.
I asked him not to give you the 4 tickets, but he could bring it down to 2. He said no, he's giving you the 4 tickets.
What are the 4 tickets?
He says you have no front plate, no inspection sticker, no registration, and your driver's license is expired.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I did, yeah.
It was in Jersey.
So I know if you want to come with me or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they know that that you're not going to get the tow and that you're going to.
Yeah, I'm a little.
You live in
It was in Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey, Edgewater, Bergen County, Edgewater, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. It was in Jersey.
Yeah, not too far outside of the city, though. It's real close to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pamela Jones is on your side, Kev. Pamela Jones says it sounds like the cop was inexperienced. In my opinion, the cop has done nothing wrong. The guy
he didn't.
Registration, your license expired.
But that is so petty, though, Carl. What I'm getting at is Ice-T was wrong, but a cop doesn't have to be so fucking petty all the time, man. I'm so sick of them doing petty shit. It's petty. There's people, there's more things going on in freaking Jersey and New York where you be worried about some petty shit about somebody's a registration. When the guy said he was going to, he was only a block from the freaking DMV. That's what I'm saying. He's a block from the DMV. You pull somebody over a block from the DMV. It wasn't like he was on the beach somewhere and on a Saturday traveling, partying with his girl or something. The guy was a block from the DMV, and he says he's on his way to the DMV. Look, the DMV is right there. I'm 1 block away. I'm going to register my car. Give me a break. That's all he said.
Kev, you know you got some car problem, okay? You love your little luxury cars, so that's the only reason why you rooting for him, because of his Porsche and his luxury car.
This ain't about cars. This ain't about cars. It's about treating people like human beings and stop acting like that little metal on your chest makes you any different, you know?
So that means you need to get on all of them, because you know all of them is disgusting to all of us.
I had a cop jump on me one time. I got caught peeing outside one time, and a cop.
Oh no, you should have got a ticket, you nasty ass.
Hey, you gotta go. You gotta go. But that was my point to the cop. I'm saying, you're a male. You gonna tell me you never took a piss outside? Yeah, of course you have. So don't sit here and try to write me a ticket when you done the same shit.
Well, if you're gonna let Ice-T no registration and no an expired license, then they gotta let everybody go.
Right, and you can't do that just because he's a star and he's on Law and Order. He think he was a part of Law and Order. I think he was doing the scene because he should have known goddamn well you don't supposed to be in the street. We not back in the days no more where we actually was not riding with no insurance, no license. You can't do that. They would stop your ass and lock your ass up, especially in New Jersey. You know, New Jersey, those troopers are disgusting. They still got a $2 million bond in Asante Shakur's head. Okay, so my thing is, he needs to be on point and he needs to work on his black side, because we see his white side's gonna get his ass in trouble. What he should have did was he should have left out his house without having his proper information or going with his Porsche without the registration order, what's called. That's why he was penalized. He should have either had somebody drive him there. He should have had a driver, and that could have saved all of that. But you see, he got a scene. Now he went viral. Everybody's talking about it. I'm sorry, he was wrong.
So Pamela Jones now thinks Ice-T should have a police escort. She said he could have the police followed Ice-T to the DMV. So now we're gonna give Ice-T a police escort to the DMV. Why? Because he's Ice-T.
No, I think Ice-T is just like the rest of us. When he's not on the movie set, he's a normal guy who does what everybody else does, and that is drive their cars, sometimes illegally, because he's a human being and he do the same shit we do.
He's rich, bitch.
He still do the same shit we do. He piss, he eats, he shits, he shops at the grocery store. He do the same shit we do. When I lived in LA for a few years. I was surprised how many times, I wasn't surprised, but I used to walk into grocery stores and see celebrities in there shopping. And I was like, oh, now I go, wait a minute. They got to shop too. They got to eat too. And nobody's bothering them. Nobody's bothering them because they're being normal. They're human beings. You know,
they probably didn't recognize them because they ain't had no makeup on. They ain't
people
got their
think
glitter
that
on.
people think because you're a celebrity, you got to hire somebody to go to the grocery store for you. No, they go to the grocery store just like everybody else. just in their neighborhood. That's all. Their neighborhood. They go to the grocery store. You know, they go to the mall. You know, they go to the mall. they go to the cars. They go to the stores. You know, they go. You know, they do the same thing we do. You know.
All right,
So
I'm not messing with
Well,
that.
we're gonna wrap up the show, but before I go, I'm gonna ask Kevin and Tiffany a question, and I'm gonna show videos.
Oh Lord, here go one of your videos. I'm gonna need to take my earrings off.
Who can say the N word other than black people? What other group?
Nobody.
Nobody?
No, I don't think we should use it.
No, Kevin. Anybody? Any other group can use the N word other than?
Hell no. No other group should use the N word. No other group. Period. No other group should use.
Especially
First of
Spanish
all,
people.
we shouldn't even be using it. But if we do use it, and we change the word from, you know, nigger to nigga, you know, we put a A on the end of it. We put an A on it. We put an A on the end of it to try to, you know. So, but I don't even like us using the word, you know. And I can't stand when comedians use it. I see comedians use the word all the time, and I cringe. I see comedians use it in front of white audiences, and I freaking just go crazy.
Yeah, like what is going on? Even the they got this rapper called Doshi. They, you know, they like her, but her first song was like, no, you like, that's the only thing you can come out your mouth?
Man, nobody
So
should
no,
be
I
using that
think that we
word,
should stop
especially
it,
other
period.
groups. No other group has the right to use that word and
Nobody
shouldn't
should
use
use the
it.
shit.
And shouldn't use it, Carl. Let me see a video, Carl.
Two videos. Here's the first one.
Hip hop. We've talked about this on the show before. You have African American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical. You know we can't.
Sure you can. This is America. Both of you. Say it.
All right, I think we can move on.
Why? Why move on when you want to say it? Both of you want to say it. Huh?
He was like, say it. Come on, say it.
That's my boy, man. He's a good actor.
In case Tiffany and Kevin, you didn't hear, who can say it?
Mexicans can't say the N-word, but Dominicans are okay?
Exactly. Puerto Ricans are cool too. Unless you're a J-Lo Puerto Rican.
As opposed to a...
Rosie Perez.
Look, it's simple. Big Pun, Fat Joe, okay. Mark Anthony, Ricky Martin, no bueno.
See, basically the whole terror squad can say it, but not Menudo.
Agree.
Wow.
It's so bugged because it's another scene where they was about to say it and he pulled his gun out. And everybody was like, people of color, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're not going to say it.
No,
But yeah. And you see that little scene right there? This is why our Spanish brothers and sisters think they can be able to say it. No, you cannot say it. You cannot say the N-word. I do not like it. And I will call you out if you call us that. Because again, I'm going to say it. It was not one Miguel and not one Hector being lynched in the South by Ku Klux Klan. Now, have you found me one, you find me one. But other than that, you can't say the N-word. And that's
What's the
our
difference
fault
between
because we allowed them to do it.
what's the difference between Rosie Perez and J-Lo?
I don't know. I thought they all was Latin.
Yeah, they both are New York Latin women, right? Both from New
They
York.
can't say nigger. It don't even sound right in their mouth.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
don't even feel right in their
I don't know
mouth.
why he felt like he could give Rosie Perez the pass, though. I don't understand what the deal is, because, and I don't know much about Rosie Perez, but J-Lo has more connection to black people over the years than Rosie Perez, right?
Yeah,
Rosie
because she
Perez
done
is
slept with
basically,
some black dingaling.
but
But
so is
yeah,
Rosie Perez too. I mean, well, how you think she got in the movie? She said she had to sleep with Spike Lee to get in the movie Do the Right Thing.
oh Jesus.
Then she said, I didn't know she's.
I didn't
Yeah,
know. You over here telling us some stuff
I find that
allegedly
interview.
because we don't know.
No, I know. I mean, she said out of her own mouth. I saw her say that out of her own mouth, where she, her and Spike Lee had a little fling, but it was just for her, to get in that movie, and Spike initiated it basically because he's producer of the movie. And like, hey, you want this movie part?
That's nasty. So you giving people parts because they gave you some
It's
ass
not
parts for an
nasty.
ass?
That's Hollywood. Tiff, you want to be in the movie?
Nope. That's probably why I didn't make it, because I didn't give up no ass.
Well,
So
Hollywood.
what that guy said, that the whole terror squad can say the N-word.
No, that's comedy. That's comedy. And Dion Cole, I don't know why he would even. Well, like I said, that was a show called Blackish.
I know, yeah.
No, because when I saw that episode, I think I stopped watching after that because I'm still a true believer. I don't think no Spanish people, I'm sorry, should say the N-word. It's very horrible. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Mm. And what's up with CeeLo Green wearing a freaking Confederate
You
flag
saw
jacket?
that. He had a Confederate flag on.
Yeah, I couldn't
Jacket.
find videos on it. I couldn't find any videos of the
Big ass jacket.
CeeLo Green and
That's what I'm saying, man. We don't erase that do this stupid shit, man. As I said earlier, which nobody else does this stupid shit but us, man. We continue to do stuff stupid. That's why, I don't think the band should play for Trump, because Trump is a known racist. And I don't care about exposure. Why would you go glorify and march and play your talent for a guy that's a cold-blooded racist? Why would you do that for a racist? For exposure? He's a racist. In the story.
yeah. Well,
Okay, period.
I mean, one guy was saying, like you said, exposure, but
yeah, but you glorify, you're being, first of all, you're being used to make a point. And that's one reason you're there, because you're being used. Whoever, they're bringing you there just to use you as a pawn. You're just being a pawn. You might get some exposure out of it, but you're also being used as a pawn. And what happened to the girl that played at Trump's last inauguration? Her career.
You talk about Chrisette Michelle. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Chrisette is a beautiful singer, right?
I
And
know her.
what
I know her
was
personally.
hearing, she wanted to do this to bring people together, but she didn't understand that wasn't a good choice. And it affected her for the rest of her life. Like, it's really affected. Like, she's trying to do a concert and nobody wants to go. Like, still, after all of these years, and Trump is back into office, nobody's messing with her. And I feel bad for her, but that was a choice that you made. You should have thought twice. And they said even her own family told her not to do it, and she went on and did it, and it's still affecting her.
That check, and that check is gone now.
Yeah, it's gone. It's been gone. It went with her family, her friends, and her career. That's why you say all money is not good money. And listen, I'm happy that the quote unquote the band was chosen, but they wouldn't even pay for y'all to be there. That right there is like me going on a date and the guy don't want to come pick me up. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you taking me out, but you don't want to come pick me up. I gotta pick. No. So
And you know what, Tiffany, I'm glad you brought that up, because Carl and I both came and picked you up. We went out to dinner.
And it's time for a new
we
dinner
both
when
came
y'all
and picked
coming to
your ass up.
Brooklyn. It's time for a new dinner.
it is. Well, I think I saved up enough money for another snack.
Thank you. I'll find a spot for us.
Yeah. So before we go, I have to show this video because this was very powerful. I actually found this, and Kevin, seemed like Kevin and I watched get the same videos. Me and I also had downloaded it, but check this out.
The Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. But the problem is our communities are divided. For Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. What I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black blood? I always tell people the day.
Hey, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. He telling the truth. And still to this day, when they in there doing nails and stuff, if it's not our money coming in there, y'all would not be making money to send back to your country and send your kids to school. Don't play with me.
Yeah. So, but is that ever going to happen? Would they ever look at black people with any kind of gratitude or nope? You know,
No.
they will.
They've been brainwashed not to like us also.
Yeah,
Everybody's brainwashed not to like us.
propaganda's been fed.
You know why? You know why, Carl? You know why Tiff and Carl, they're so easy for them not to like us? Because they see how much we don't like ourselves.
That is true.
They see us going to play for Trump. But you think any Asian school would go play for a group of black people that, or some black leader that did something negative towards Asian people? You think Jewish people would go play for a Nazi that's president, or a Nazi that's, you think, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't even be asked. But we're asked to come sell our soul to go play for Trump. And
not
black
be
people
paid
and
for
black
it.
people all over TikTok going, yeah, it's a good thing for them. Not and ignoring all of Trump's history, ignoring who he is, ignoring who his followers are, and making all these excuses why they should go. Because we don't want people that do that. It's so easy for people to hate us because they see, oh, these people don't even like themselves. Why the hell should we?
Yeah.
Why the hell should we like them? What that guy just said when he came on our show? Why we shoot each other? Like other races don't kill each other. But he has the audacity to come on our show and bring up black people killing black people when white people killing white people way before black people killing black people.
I told you we should do a segment, white on white crime, so make
We don't
people
have enough
feel
time.
better.
That show will last for 6 straight days nonstop.
Well, we see the insurance thing. That was a white on white crime. You
We should
understand what I'm
ask him
saying?
how come Timothy McVeigh blew up a building full of white people. That's what we should ask him.
With children and all of that. But yeah, you're right.
Exactly. We should ask him why Ted Bundy killed 36 white women. I mean, people act like
Because he's a sick pervert.
people act like black people invented crime. Like
We sure didn't. We
we
didn't invent
invented
this
crime.
shit. They are the originators, the original sin. Our white people. Thank you.
Jesus Christ, people are so arrogant, man. And come on our show and ask us stupid ass questions. Jesus.
Well, people wonder why. You guys know the reason why black people were lynched back in the Jim Crow days? So, like the reasons why black people were lynched?
Yeah, we know, but jealousy, envy. They felt like the nigga was doing too much. He was getting too good. He was getting too better than them. Or they felt like they was looking at their white woman. Anything. It was anything they was killing us for.
Here's a few reasons. Here you go.
I want you all to hear 8 out of thousands of reasons black people were lynched, according to the Equal Justice Initiative's report of reported lynchings. John Stoner was lynched in Doss, Louisiana in 1909 for swinging the white man who killed his cow. Frank Dodd was lynched in DeWitt, Arkansas in 1916 for annoying a white woman. Ernest Green and Charlie Lang, both 14, were lynched in Shibuya, Mississippi in 1942 after a white girl said they were threatening. Oliver Moore was lynched in Edgecombe County, North Carolina in 1930 for frightening a white girl. Henry Patterson was lynched in Mobile, Florida in 1926 for asking a white woman for a drink of water. Elizabeth Lawrence was lynched in Birmingham, Alabama in 1933 for reprimanding white children who threw rocks at her. Jesse Thornton was lynched in Laverne, Alabama in 1940 for addressing a white police officer without the title Mr. A black construction worker was lynched at Camp Blanding, Florida in 1941 for insisting that a white coworker return his shovel.
Can you imagine?
For anything.
Yeah.
For anything. And not one person you said Hector or Miguel or Maria.
That is an excellent point. There's
I
not one.
mean, come on, keep it real. We have not heard one, so that's why I'm saying they cannot say the N-word. I'm sorry. Not when you got people being lynched because they ignored a white person. You understand? Or they didn't do what they supposed to do. You understand? They was just killing us just to kill us. So we want to salute those people. I want to go and visit there. I'm gonna, God willing, I'm gonna find my way to go and visit there to that lynching place where they have those have the like the bars coming down with their names on it and stuff. Each state that had lynching. I'm gonna go one day.
Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? What state is
I
that in?
don't know where is that.
A
Let me
lynching.
see. Hopefully,
It's a lynching museum.
yeah, it's like the lynching. I'm gonna say. I think it's the lynching memorial.
Mm.
Let me see. Okay, I think it says, where's this? Alabama.
Okay.
It's in Montgomery, Alabama. So I was not trying to go to Alabama because, after I saw what's going to get his ass whooped all the way from the Penniston Bridge to the beginning to the end. What's his name? I Love Trouble. But I do want to go and see this. And I'm going to have to go to Alabama. Alabama, you will see me soon. But I want to start visiting historic sites, especially dealing with the Black American experience.
Amen. I'm a visit a Black American site too called My Kitchen in a few minutes. I'm starving.
Me too. I can't wait to eat some soup. All right, Carl.
We're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for watching the show. Everyone on Facebook, everyone on YouTube, everyone on Twitch. We'll be on Instagram. Next week, I'm gonna have that set up so we can also stream the Instagram.
Nice.
And to everyone, we love you and we appreciate you watching our show. Thank you, Ms. Kim's Bling Bar on YouTube. Thank you. And let me read one of your comments was, my paternal grandfather would have been lynched in Birmingham, Alabama because he almost strangled a white store owner for putting his hands on his mother. Well, how could you kick the shit out of anyone that put their hands on your mother? But
right.
Older brother hopped on a train to Chicago. So apparently her grandfather's mother was attacked by a white man and he kicked his ass and then he had to haul ass out of town, pretty much is what she's saying. Thanks to everyone. Wendy, Shia, what's up? Thank you. Pamela Jones. Everyone on G Car.
Nicole, my sister, she's there.
Thank you for checking in. Donna, we didn't see you this Sunday. I know you're probably busy doing something else because you're usually here with us. Scooby D2, hopefully you come back or you take a break. I know the show is not the funnest. It's not fun for us, Scooby. Trust me. It's not fun for us, but it's the life we live. There was two names I had for this show. It was either Life in the Black Lane or the Black Therapy Show. So this is the Black Therapy Show, and this is also Life in the Black Lane. This is the life we live. And there's nothing I can do or say, and we don't choose these topics. These topics choose us. So, Tiffany, anything you want to share or you learned on today's show?
Well, I'm going to pray and ask God to give us a peaceful year this year, as we see it's already starting and popping already. But I'm praying for us to have strength. I'm telling people, please sit down and pray with your children. Prayer work. Okay, stay positive, and if you feel like you're going through something, find something that can be able to build your soul and your spirit. We want to send out our sincere condolences to the family that lost many people this week. We want to say sorry. We send in our condolences and we love them. And please love your family, appreciate your loved ones, because it could be gone just like that, and you don't want to have no regrets. So make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, and let us know how you feel. Again, this is fair use only. We do not own the rights to any of it. This is our opinion only. Have a good night.
Kev, did you learn anything or you want to share anything before we go?
Yeah, I want to share two things. One, I want to say, Scooby Doo, I'll see you in June. And and I'm really pissed off right now that Ice-T has more cars than me. I got more work to do.
That's that sick car shit he got going on.
I do have a car fetish. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I told you that man has a car fetish.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It wasn't cold outside. I go outside and wax my cars in the dark right now.
Yeah.
You know what it comes from though, real quickly? It comes from me driving every piece of shit car known to man for almost 20 years. Every crappy, ugly car. I used to drive to the comedy club to perform. My cars were so bad, I used to park blocks away from the comedy club.
So no one can see.
So nobody could see me. and after the shows, I would walk and look over my show, make sure nobody saw me getting in these cars, you know.
Damn. You
It was
act
that
like
bad.
you act like you was dropping. Your feet was going through the bottom and you was doing
I
them
had a
shits like
car.
that.
I had a
Like
Fred
the
Flintstone car.
Flintstones.
I had a Fred Flintstone car where there was a hole in the floor and it was covered up by mat. Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
I've had every time. I had this Ford Aerostar van. It was light blue. Oh my God, that thing was the ugliest thing on the planet, man. I just have trauma from the cars I used to have. That's all. So when I, started doing a little better and got good credit, I decided to buy myself nice cars. So it's a little trauma from my past I'm dealing with, in my midlife crisis.
That's why Kevin gravitated towards Ice-T because Ice-T said he has 7 cars twice. He needed to let us know. I have 7 cars.
And they're nice. I've seen some of his car collection. They're really nice rides he had. I'm so fucking jealous.
And they not even registered.
They're not even registered. Well, I'm sure he can get them registered now. I'm sure he can get them all registered now. All right, peace and love, everybody. Great show. Good seeing you again. Happy New Year. I pray for a safe year for everybody watching this show and for everybody on this panel. And I hope that we don't have to report all this crazy drama every week, but I'm afraid that that's almost impossible living in the United States of America.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank, we want to shout out Mr. Information Man, brother. We want to say Happy New Year to Information Man. Please look at Information Man on YouTube
right now.
I think his show comes on right before our show. He's out in LA, so it's a bit of a time difference. But
Hey, my sister was watching Information Man show earlier today live, and she called me up and told me right before we went on, told me he was giving Dr. Umar, he was tearing Dr. Umar a new one.
Yeah, he's like a Dr. Umar, like
He was tearing Dr. Umar a new one. So yeah.
Y'all better leave Dr. Umar alone. I'm sick of y'all. Go ahead, Carl.
I but I mean, he said, and man, he was going in hard on Kamala. I couldn't, I couldn't ride on him with that.
And I can't ride with him when he go in on Dr. Umar because I don't think no black man should go on against one another. Period. Not on a platform. So, maybe he get likes and clicks for it. But I love you, Mr. Information Man. But when you start coming for my boy Umar, I gotta have a fight. We gotta do a fight.
Yeah. I mean, we can be able to sit and talk to Dr. Umar, you know what I mean, and find out.
Umar makes some good points, guys. He makes some good points. We know that. But some of his rhetoric is out of control at times. He makes good points. Some of the stuff he says about our athletes marrying snow bunnies, I kind of agree
I'm
with.
not marrying no snow bunnies. So
I get it when he talks about rich black men marrying outside the race because it kills that generational wealth in our community. So some of the stuff he says makes sense. You can't help who you fall in love with sometimes, though.
I can understand that too, but
so that's just you never know when the love bug's going to bite you and where you're going to be and who it is. It could be.
Well, I hope no white love bug bite me because I'm going to be fighting
you just might get that. You might get that white love bug. You might walk into one of those bodegas next week and get slip off your feet, and you don't have no choice. You don't know what the Lord has ordained for you. You don't know what the man upstairs has ordained for you.
I tried
You
to even
cannot
sniff
fight
a
with the
white
man
man.
upstairs. Are you a
They don't
believer?
smell like y'all. They don't
Are you a
smell like y'all.
believer? Are you a believer? If the
They
man
don't smell
upstairs,
like y'all.
if the man upstairs said you're going to fall in love with Brad Pitt, you're gonna fall in love with Brad
I'm
Pitt.
not falling in love with Brad Pitt because he don't smell like a soul brother.
All right, well then you just go ahead and marry Rerun.
Rerun is dead. How you going to, you see you trying to disrespect me? Patricia!
Hey,
Patricia had the best.
you know, Kevin, I'll say this. I'm absolutely sure there are white men who meet very nice black women every day.
Yeah.
And they still stick to white women. They meet them, those black women are great, but you know what? White women. And they do it every day. They don't say, oh, I'm in love, you know what I mean? They fuck that love shit. I'm sticking with the white woman. But
listen, to each his own. Whoever want to love who you love.
we seem to be, you know what I mean? We fall in love, and you know what I mean? Black people, we seem to be the cupids of the world.
They love us. Ain't nothing like some black chocolate. What? They consider us exotic, darling.
Exotic.
All right, everybody. Again, thanks again. Kevin has to go eat. Tiffany has to go do whatever. When is your show coming back on, Tiffany? Your dragon show?
I think it's coming on next year. Yeah, it's every 2 years because they gotta make it and all of that. So I don't know. It could be the end of the 2025. You talking about Game of Thrones and House of Dragons and stuff? Yeah, that's my only white people guilty pleasure.
So Bling Bar is asking, did y'all hear what Jamie Foxx had to sing about it? What he had Jamie Foxx sing about what?
Well, if y'all did y'all watch his stand up? Is she talking about his stand up?
Special.
No, I didn't see the special.
But maybe y'all do see the special and we can talk about it next week.
So you're referring to about singing? You know what she's referring to?
Is that what she's talking about? Because he sung on the show. It was actually an awesome comedy thing. It was it was awesome.
He sang about white women. He sang.
Oh yeah, he said I put that up on my page. He said he not sleeping with white women no more.
Oh yeah.
Neither am I.
In public.
Not in public.
Yeah, he said he ain't messing around with white women no more. He's clean, he's pure, and he said he's not going to do it in public.
In public, okay.
I bet you Jamie's been more white women than black women.
He said that's how people knew he wasn't clone, because they saw him with a white woman, because they know Jamie like him some white women. And he said he's not messing around with no more white women. He is free, he is pure, and he's not going to do it in public.
In public. All right, everybody. Again, thanks again. And hopefully we see you next Sunday and you tell more people about our show. Please like, share, subscribe. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your family. We love you. Kevin, I love you. Tiffany.
Love you, bro. Good to see you.
You too.
Love you, good to see you. Happy New Year, both of you.
A happy New Year to you too, King.
Stay safe in those streets. Yeah. I got some hot chili waiting for me.
The knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the black liberation. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy, we're gonna challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Show.